God, what the hell is this? He's gonna try it! And will this be enough? My God, take it! 1, 2,
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Ruckus Wrastlin. I am Josh Mayberry alongside my tag team partner in this journey, Justin Toner. How are we doing today, sir?
You're really good right now.
Yeah. Well, yes.
But better than was after Friday night.
Yeah. Yes. I joined the joined the Ruckus Discord for right off the bat reactions. If you missed one. The other day, our boy Justin, he was on one after Friday Night Smackdown. But you know what? It's just the thing is, I want to start off. It's time that we finish the story, and every time it feels like something just gets in the way of finishing the story. It just seems like they're supposed to win. They're supposed to hear. They're the best. They're the ones that's supposed to do it. Let them finish the story, but management keeps getting in the way. So anyway, Roxanne Perez needs to finish the story, and they keep holding her back. Okay, I am tired of this. It needs to stop. Oh wait, never mind. That's not who needs to finish the story, is it? Even though she should. Dang it. All right. Anyway, I guess we'll just go into the press conference and what me boycotting NXT.
We're gonna have to recap the whole drama.
No. Anyway, so yeah, that ends that. We'll get into the fact that NXT is now being boycotted by me. Shawn Michaels needs to fix what he needs to do, and to get me back in. Which it sounds like it's going to be a long road before I watch NXT. They might, who knows? It might be their second deal with USAA. Not even who knows? By the time they finally do that. Now she'll be on the main roster pretty soon. All right, but yes, happened today. Just happened a few hours ago. They had the big press conference, WrestleMania press conference. As Cody's making his decision, The Rock's going to be there, Roman's going to be there. This is kind of how they always do it, but this one seemed just to had a lot more buzz behind it. Justin, kind of give us the cliff notes.
Oh boy. Okay. All right, so this all started last week because we were speculating about what's going on because last week we found out that CM Punk was injured in the Rumble, tore his tricep, taking a future shock DDT from McIntyre, which sucks, and threw a lot of Mania plans down the toilet. And Cody with Seth saying no, Cody, challenge me because Roman sucks. He's devalued the championship. I have the workhorse real championship. Face me. And then because we're okay, well, it's that just a delaying tactic just to delay about Cody making his choice, so they can figure out maybe what they're going to do with Seth. Because it's not guaranteed he's going to be ready for Mania. Everyone hopes he's going to be ready for Mania. We don't know yet. Even Adam Pearce on Raw this week said Seth is not medically cleared. He said out loud. So it's he's not medically cleared to wrestle right now. Then we got to SmackDown. And Cody confronting Roman. And then things got weird when Cody's like, I want to take everything from you. I want to take the title from you. I want that title. But not Mania. Well, what? And then The Rock comes out. And basically looks like he's taking Cody's place. And the whole internet wrestling community went, what the fuck are you doing? And a lot of us were pissed, myself included. Because as Josh was alluding to, on our Discord, I went into quite the rant in the Hangout.
It was beautiful. I'm sorry for everyone that we just can't recreate it. He'll never get the dosage right. He was really hot. A good one. He was a good one. I was trying to make win of it. I was like, well, maybe they could do X, Y, and Z. But why? That whole thing. But the internet did what the internet does.
Yeah,
we got tonight.
Yeah. So, it made Cody look bad. It made The Rock look like he was pulling a Hulk Hogan and taking his place. It was pissed. It pissed a good large majority chunk of the fan base off. So it's like, okay, that's like, it's like it didn't look good, and the fans revolted. They made their voice heard online. We want CODY traded for Saturday and Sunday. But then there was the ugly side too, unfortunately, where people were saying some bad stuff. There was death threats made against the Rock's daughter, Ava, who's the general manager at NXT right now. Not cool. Fuck that shit. It's like you can voice your displeasure, but do not do that kind of shit. It's like, so fuck those people.
Seek help, please.
So it felt like, are we going to see a new version of the Yes Movement for CODY? And it's pretty much, it was very clear, yes, indeed. It's definitely was trending in that direction, because then we got on Raw, which we'll go into more detail later. But on Raw, the fans were very vocal, booing The Rock, Rocky Such chant, and God bless Michael Cole for going with it, probably calling it audible, quipping, wow, we haven't heard that since 1996. Yeah, it has been a long time since we heard a Rocky Such chant. The chanting for CODY, we want CODY, hashtag we want CODY signs all over the arena that were being handed out. At first, people weren't sure if it was done on purpose by WWE or it was fans. Looks like it was the fans.
Yeah, it was the fans.
And then they kept delaying more, because so it's like, okay, CODY, what's your answer? And then Drew came out, and so we didn't get an answer. And then Rock and everyone's hyping up the press conference tonight. Like it's going to be memorable.
And Rock going on McAfee show and dropping that line about the
Crybaby
CODY, yeah, or CODY fans.
Yep. Getting very heelish on McAfee show, trashing the fans' bad creative decision pivot, go over. So before we get into the press conference, I just want to say, after I calmed down and people pointed out, yes, having Rock Roman Mania match business-wise makes sense, because it gets eyes on WWE, it gives them press, and it draws people in, because it's The Rock. Because The Rock is such a huge name, not just in pro wrestling, but also now in Hollywood after all these decades.
Mm-hmm.
Like ESPN, everyone from ESPN to the Hollywood freaking Reporter was talking about Rock Roman at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
That is this happening? It created buzz. It created attention. Why? Because of Vince fucking McMahon and his hot garbage bullshit. It's very obvious that they inserted The Rock into this whole Mania situation to get attention on Mania and what's going on, and not talk about Vince McMahon's heinous sins that are coming to light. And I totally get that. And other times I would have had no problem with it. In fact, in the past, I don't have a problem with Rock Roman. It is a dream match. The problem was the execution. To pull an old NFL reference, this is like Ernest Piner fumbling for the Cleveland Browns at the goal line, costing them a chance to go to the Super Bowl against the Broncos. It's like everything's looking great, and then it looks like you're crossing the finish line. You fucking blow it. And it's like they blew it big time. It's like how they kicked this thing off was hot garbage on SmackDown, and everybody knows it. Even the people who wanted Rock Roman over Roman CODY also agreed that this was bad because it made CODY look bad. And also Roman burying Seth also made Seth look bad, because Roman verbally buried him as well on top of that, the losers bracket champion. And the burial continued tonight, unfortunately, with the at the press conference. So that aside, then we get to the press conference tonight. It starts off with Seth coming out, wanting CODY to come out to give his answer. Is he going to face me, or is he going to face Roman at WrestleMania? Roman comes out instead and is like, CODY's hesitation means he's weak. I'm going to decide who I get to have my opponent. I choose my cousin, The Rock. And of course, The Rock comes out, and boy, it was a mixed reaction at first, but over time, the boos and the heat against The Rock got louder, because it was very mixed. You heard people, there was dueling chants. There was for Rock and against CODY and vice versa. But the more this went on, the more the fans continued to voice their displeasure at The Rock. and voicing their support of Cody. And then Rock goes into this whole thing about like that this is special because it's about their family, the bloodline. And he brought up the whole family tree on the screen and hyping this up. And I'm just like, okay, I see where this is going. Rock's leaning into the backlash. He's going heel. And then him and Roman, all of a sudden, all very friendly. And like, yeah, no, let's have this main event match, and make our because it's all about our family. We're awesome, we're proud, and shaking hands. And then things kicked in overdrive when all of a sudden, without any music, Cody comes out and goes, "What is this bullshit?"
Right. And
rips into Roman and The Rock for what's going on. Obviously hinting that what Rock and him talked about apparently didn't go as what Cody thought it was, because what Rock was doing took him by surprise and what he was saying. And then things got really heated when first Roman went off and once again disrespected the memory of Dusty Rhodes, which fans were like, and Cody's like, and then Cody fired back with a hell of a line about how him and Rock's grandfather, the High Chief Peter Maivia, if he was around right now, would be ashamed of Roman. And then The Rock went even more full heel with like, you are disrespecting my family. Don't talk like that. And he slaps Cody in the face to cement his current heel status right now. They had to be separated. Seth verbally was supporting Cody, calling Rock and Roman out for this bullshit. Triple H and Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis were on the stage having to try to keep order.
Well, you knew as soon as Cody came out there, you knew something was going to happen.
Yeah.
Because they just gradually walked out there and everything. Now, I will say you did miss my favorite line that Cody did was, and he was so heated about it. It was just such a good 2 minutes. I know people were like, they only gave him like 2 minutes. I'm like, but that's all he needed. That's it. That's all he needed to do. Now all the
fans already behind him. He doesn't need to say much more.
Right. And so he basically just said, you both want to be at the head of the table. Meanwhile, I've been the one here cooking while you've been at home for 2 years.
Yeah, that was oh yeah, you're right. That was a great fucking line where he's like, I've been here in the kitchen cooking for the last 2 years. Where have you been, Rock?
Well, no, both of you have basically just been just saying that kind of what Seth has been trying to say, but
yeah, that was a great line for Cody. I think I haven't a lot of people missing that, and I agree.
Yeah.
So it all broke down, and then they interviewed Triple H about like, okay, what's going on, and then Roman come up, acting even more heelish and going, "Yo, Triple H, fix this, or we will fix it." Basically threatening Triple H to his face. Triple H is like, and also I don't think people heard it, but I heard Triple H say it while I was on the stage. It's like I just barely heard it in the background. He called out like, "Oh, you guys are going to business for yourselves now."
Oh, that's right. He did say that. I was more hung up on Seth Rollins being like, "Oh, just because you're on the TKO board doesn't mean you come in here and do whatever the fuck you want." Like,
yeah, he said that too. You could hear it. It's like.
Yeah. It just was because they were breaking the fourth wall, and it just seemed. I know it was chaotic. It was all over the place, but it was just. I was in the moment. I was like this. I was like this is very interesting. So, and then Triple H version of fixing it is saying, "Oh, Cody Roman is back on at Mania for now." Right.
Because do you think The Rock is going to accept that after what happened at the press conference? This is it to say a quote, a very famous line that many people use in Click Ric Flair. We have only just begun. Yeah. This is not the end, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if they expected the backlash or they expected this bad. I don't think they did either. I don't think they expected the backlash to be. I think they expected backlash, but I don't think they expected it to get so bad that it's like The Rock's getting booed out of the fucking building. I think some people underestimated how over and popular Cody is with the fan base right now, and that this looked like that bullshit trying to screw Cody out from finally winning the title eventually, like he's supposed to. So Now they're leaning into it because Rock has gone full heel now. It's like we've got the return of Hollywood Rock. If you remember, you remember Hollywood Rock when he was heel after.
That's a low key really good entrance song of the Rock, like that real slow like I used to remember the helicopter and stuff. The Hollywood Rock entrance was just
it was.
It was very good. A lot of people don't talk about that. I really like that.
If we got Hollywood Rock back in heel mode, look out.
And then when they did the Rock Hogan 2 and the Rock was on the Jumbotron yawning and stuff. I remember when Hogan was like doing his he was like, I'll tell you something. He's like, oh yeah, I say your prayers. Yeah, whatever. It was just, I mean, and then,
it was a beautiful thing to watch back then. It's like because like everyone loves and finally remembers The Rock when he was a babyface, but people forget, man, when when he was a heel, especially after he first turned after the Rocky Sucks and Die Rocky Die stuff when he joined the Nation, he was gold. He was a heat machine. But he was just so fucking good that he eventually got over again as a babyface because he went heel. You know, it's like it's like he could be great at being the bad guy. This
wasn't the plan though. It was not.
No,
The Rock
absolutely
was not
not.
supposed to go heel.
If Meltzer people claim that this was the plan all along, they are full of bullshit.
Meltzer changed his thought more than Big Show switch from face to heel. Like it was ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. It's like get the F out of here, Meltzer.
Come on, man.
This is why we trust Sean Ross Sapp and other people more, because their sources are much more accurate. This kind of stuff. So this is chaos, man. And where I was pissed off after Friday, now I can't wait to see where this is going to go.
I mean, obviously people are starting to speculate, but I was just like at the end of that, and then you saw the Triple H tweeted out, you know, Cody, Roman. I just couldn't think of from the Dark Knight where the Joker's sitting there looking Harvey Dent, and he's like, you know what I like about chaos? It's fair. And I was just like, yeah, you know what I like about chaos? It's fair. I really understand what that line is, but that line made more sense when I saw tonight. Because at the end of the day, Cody got his spot. Because that's what I kept thinking the whole time. I'm like, why would Cody make that decision? He has the keys.
Yes, it's so obvious that they're using the backlash to build up the love for Cody even more. Like they are building him up to be like John Cena level babyface of the company with the title. And it's like they're going into more overdrive and The Rock had to go heel because it's like the fans are not in his corner. They're behind Cody. I'm waiting for Cody to be like, I'm the people's champion now, bitch.
Right. Yeah, there's going to be, I mean, yeah. And then, I mean, I didn't think The Rock was going to be in Australia or even Rome was scheduled to wrestle. But now
people are wildly speculating about like, are Cody and Rock going to like fight over the title shot? What's going to happen? We don't know.
Are we doing Cody and Seth against Rock and Roman at Elimination?
I know some people were throwing out that they're going to do like WrestleMania 1. It'll be Cody and Seth versus Rock. No, because then no titles online. No, that's stupid. Get that fucking stupid idea out of your head.
Also, people, if you don't know, all the people online, look at me. Triple H has a pacemaker. He had a heart attack and almost died. He is not wrestling The Rock. Stop it.
He's not going to get physically involved. He can't.
He cannot physically
because of his health. He cannot.
Yes, he cannot. So sorry for the people that kept saying, "Oh, we just did, you know, Rock and Triple H." I'm like, number one, we don't need that again.
No, Triple H is in the sympathetic GM mode because it's like he obviously he wants to see Cody succeed, but he's got Roman and Rock throwing their weight around, trying to make him do what they want. And that's where things get really interesting.
He shouldn't, but speaking about sympathetic, Triple H is going to come out and goes, you know why I made the match? It's because he reminds me of me. I got passed over. I'm like, no, you didn't, Mr. Reign of Terror. Like,
no, you should not say that because
do not say that, Triple H. Because
it's like we remember what you did to Booker T. We remember what you did to Jericho. Remember you blah 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 blah.
We remember that you and Jericho took the top spot when it should have been Rock and Hogan in that and you got slept out of the building as a main event. WrestleMania 18. It was all about Rock versus Hogan. It's like and. That was what the fans were most excited for, and like they just did not give a fuck about Jericho versus Triple H in the main event. No, No, they didn't. I mean, I understand why, because technically you're supposed to put that there, but you don't get that match.
They're purposely doing the Daniel Bryan thing with Cody, but this time it's on purpose.
Right.
Whereas with what happened with Daniel Bryan, despite the bullshit a lot of people have said, oh, it was the plan all along for Daniel Bryan to get into the main event and win the title. No, it fucking wasn't. Daniel Bryan had said so. It's like, I'll trust Daniel Bryan's word over Vince and some other people's.
Okay? Yeah, and it should have been just Becky versus Ronda in WrestleMania, and then they just kept shoving Charlotte in there.
They shoved Charlotte in there because it's like
that's what Vince wanted for some reason, and
thankfully it turned out great. And Becky got her moment, and she got the football and she ran with it and killed it.
Yeah, even though Ronda can't take a pin for shit, but that's beside the point.
No. But it's like, it's like what happened with Daniel Bryan was a result of they had to pivot because the backlash was so bad. It's like, what happened with Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio, one of the most beloved wrestlers of all time, getting booed out of the fucking building because he wasn't Daniel Bryan when he came out number 30, and then booing Batista out of the building because he won and not Daniel Bryan. And it's like they had to. It's like the fans left them no choice. It's like the revolt was too powerful, and they knew that something similar was going to happen because Cody is so over right now. It's like the backlash was going to be palpable, and so now that they saw that, yes, oh, okay, yep, no, okay, yep, they're pissed. All right, so we got to roll with this.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, look at the history of typically The Rock shows up, people's elbow, rock bottom, eyebrow raised, people go home happy, everyone makes $1 million. Typically, that's how it normally goes.
Yeah.
So if you think it's going to happen, but I will remind people, there was a time The Rock showed up to boost the situation that was getting ready to transpire, and people still didn't care because at the end of the day, when they feel like they're being force-fed something or some fallacy is going awry, the wrestling community will rose. And I'm talking about when he came out and helped and tried to boost Roman when he won the Royal Rumble, and no one cared. No one cared. They booed both of them.
Yeah. For those who don't know, when Vince was trying to shove Roman down as like the uber baby face down people's throats, he won the 2015 Royal Rumble, and fans were booing him out of the building. The Rock got in the ring, who was there to support Roman, got in there, was raising his hands like, no, guys, no, he's great. Cheer for him. They booed both him and Rock out of the building. And you saw The Rock. If you go back and watch the video of that, look at The Rock's face. He was not expecting that. He was not expecting the fans to turn on him like that because he was out there supporting Roman. It's like he did not anticipate the backlash that people had with Roman at the time. It's like the fans were like, we do not want Roman at all. Fuck no.
Yeah. I mean, I do think they're listening to.
They have to. It's like with Daniel Bryan, but this time it's like they're pivoting on purpose. Where it took a long time for people to finally make Vince listen and be like, we have to change the plan. It's like, do you see what they're doing out there? It's like the infamous Raw episode before the Rumble even happened, where they were setting up Cena versus Orton as like they were hyping it as like the greatest title match ever because it was a unification match between the WWE and World Heavyweight titles. And the fans hijacked that show with the yes chants while Daniel Bryan was out there. And God bless both Mark Henry and John Cena for acknowledging it and supporting Daniel Bryan when they didn't have to. Mm-hmm. It's like they went off script.
Yeah.
And it's like back then with Vince, that's a big no-no.
Right.
But they did it anyway because they knew that it was the right thing to do. So it's like that's why I have a lot of love for Mark Henry and John Cena for their showing their support for Bryan in that infamous segment, which ironically Punk was also involved in that segment as well.
Yeah. And then obviously they just kept screwing Daniel Bryan over because John Cena, he went out there. Remember, he got to pick his opponent. He had to pick his opponent. He's like, I choose Daniel Bryan, and then he won. And what happened? Randy Orton cashes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like the real backlash with and support for Bryan started when It was him versus Cena for the title. I think was it SummerSlam.
Yes. No, either that or Money in the Bank.
And Daniel Bryan beat Cena clean, and everyone was like, "Yeah!" And then Orton came out because he had the money. He won the Money in the Bank that year. Orton came out, and I was like, "Oh no!" And then it was made worse when Triple H turned on Bryan, gave him pedigree, and helped Orton cash in and win the title, screwing Bryan over in the process. That's when the Yes Movement revolt began in earnest.
What Rock is Roman's Jey Uso? Elaborate on that one.
I think I know what he means. One way they can go about this, The Rock is only pretending to be on Roman's side.
I mean, yeah, they're a lot of people are saying that they're going to do the whole DX Mike Tyson thing, where he's in Roman's corner, everything's hunky dory.
Yeah,
then he's going to screw him over.
Think about it. What better way to pull a ultimate chess move on Roman and Paul Heyman by making them think that Rock and Cody are enemies, and Rock is on Roman's side. Here's
where I'm with you, and it's fine.
It could go that way.
It could. It's fine. But at this point, I want Cody to go scorched earth and just take out all of them.
Yep. That's why it should happen.
It should. Just go scorched earth at this point and just take out all of them, because this is a very pro Cody show. Okay. If you haven't, is this the first time joining us? We're very big Cody guys.
Cody.
Because we've been wanting it for a while. We won it last year, and 90% of the wrestling community wanted it too. I'll speak on all of us.
I know how effective this what they've done for Cody is. John Ruckus, who Josh and I are both fans of, All the Nation on YouTube channel. He was all for Roman beating Cody last year. He thought it was the right move. Now he is, no, that was the wrong move, and he's totally in support of Cody getting the title at this point.
Yeah,
that's how effective what they've done with Cody is, and they've had their stumbles along the way, because like the Brock feud made no fucking sense. They never gave a proper explanation. It was very obvious that all this was just filler before he would be able to get another crack at Roman. It's like, and it's like, yes, The Rock trying to insert himself, maybe voice fans. I don't know if it's intention. It's like, we don't know the full story, but it's very obvious that they were trying to make a change to get people talking about WrestleMania and not Vince. And they probably didn't really anticipate how big the backlash would be against The Rock and WWE for making Cody look bad. And so now we're seeing them this is another pivot. We'll see if they can make sense out of this. God bless Triple H if he's going to make sense out of this, because this is really convoluted right now. But I'm willing to give him a chance to see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. So, but the thing was, and I'll kind of go to it, and I really did love Ruckus' take, because it's definitely different as far as the press conference is concerned, and he's looking at it from a writer's perspective and person that's been around script writing and stuff. So I can understand that. This is what happens when what your initial plans were, and you kind of fucked up, and now you got to pivot, and you're making, this is the best you can make.
Yep.
Chicken salad out of chicken shit, as Dusty Rhodes would say.
Yeah.
And this is the best way they can do it. So they back themselves in this corner, fight your fucking way out. They're doing so well, on my perspective, with that.
If anyone could find a way to make this mess make any sense, it's Triple H. So good luck to him, because he's got his work cut out for him over the next 2 months.
Yeah. But I will say, for those who thought that Cody was handed the title, that they thought they were just handing him the title last year by beating Roman. Cody just decided to take his bag, make it on his own, build his own brand, go to Japan, do that, meet up with these guys named the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Hangman Page, a couple of guys that are just okay in the locker room. Decided that, and then saying, he had these things of saying, oh, I could do this. And then he basically spearheads a sellout crowd for an indie show, taking that, getting together with Tony Khan, making his own company, Unfortunately, the head guy and Cody butted heads on creative and realized Cody realized this isn't the baby that I thought it was. Then his contract comes up. They couldn't figure it out. And Vince McMahon comes in. He literally negotiates with them, saves face and say, you know what? They've come to me now. They've said I am worth it. Put their money where their mouth is. It's not working out creatively. He had nowhere to go in AEW at that point because thinking about booking yourself into a corner, Cody did that to himself. Then he shows up at WrestleMania, gets a pop, and then he ends up going with Seth. Then right afterwards, tears his pec because he put too much weight on. He had too much adrenaline in his soul. Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Giv putting that in there to make me realize that. But he had too much of that. So wrestles it with a torn pec in a Hell in a Cell, puts on a classic.
I think that pretty much cemented the fans' love for him at this point. That it was signed, sealed, and delivered when he wrestled the Hell in a Cell match against Seth with a torn pec, which was nuts. Shouldn't have done it, but the fans fell in love with him even more after that. So it's been ride or die Cody for a lot of people ever since, because it's like, and when you see, like, when you see like Amanda Huber and other people talking about what a wonderful person Cody is, it's like, how can you not root for this guy? It's like, come on, man.
Yeah. If you want to know, Amanda Huber, who is Brody Lee's, I literally have it pulled up what she just said, so I'll read since you brought that up. Amanda Huber, for those who don't know, is Brody Lee's widow. And she said, if you want to know, that she literally posted this about an hour ago. If you want to know the type of man Cody Rhodes, and Big E, she did shout out Big E too, is he drove 5+ hours the day after Christmas to be in the room with me to tell Brody that John was going to pass away. He held him as he cried. Then he took him to the beach and fly kites. He's not the type of human you want to root for. If he's not the type of human you want to root for, I don't know who is.
Amen.
Shout out to Big E too. I remember her telling that story. And
also, I want to give a big shout out not only to Big E, but also CM Punk. CM Punk awesome. Big E fucking killed it on the commentary with Cole McAfee tonight.
I'm just here so CM Punk don't get fined. I'm making sure that he.
I love that Big E was backing up what CM Punk was saying. Throwing in some of his own stuff. It was great.
This is the wrestling business for
and you gotta love Punk throwing the shade about punching people. You know, obviously it's like, you
gotta punch him in the face.
You know what he was You know what he is referencing.
Yeah. You gotta punch him in the face. But I
think it's really smart that they're keeping Punk involved, even though he's out with the tricep injury for a few months. This is smart. This shows how much they care and invested in Punk right now. Is that they're finding ways to make sure that he's on TV. And this was smart having him there, because it's like the fans love him. They're obviously a lot of. I had my issues and concerns about Punk coming back, but he's won me over, and it's like I was bummed that he got hurt, and that it's like he's gonna have to wait to get his WrestleMania main event until next year. But this is good by WWE by putting him on there, and same with Big E too, because I don't know if you noticed, Big E can't turn his neck very much, so it's a very clear sign that it's like
he was sitting there like the whole time. He was like pivoting the whole time.
Yeah, it's like he's not turning his neck very much, so it's like that's not a good sign. No. I know people are hoping. I know some people are wondering, like, is this whole like Imperium New Day stuff, is that going to lead to Big E's hurt? He's not cleared. He's not there. He may not be. We might have to accept the fact that Big E's career is over, which would really fucking suck. Yeah. It's very possible. It's been 2 years now. It's almost 2 years at this point that he from the injury. I can't believe it's been that long already.
Yeah.
It's like, unless something miraculous happens, you never know. I mean, doctors were telling Orton, you may have to retire if you can't. It's like you don't properly hear from this. It's like it's like your career's done. It's like, and that scared Randy. It's like he's talked about it. It's like it was a motivation. It's like no, it's like I'm not going to go out like this. I'm not going to have my career end with a fucking back injury. Exactly. I think both Big E and CM Punk should be used on commentary. 1,000%. Yes. It's like they both should be used on commentary as much as they possibly can.
The only reason I wouldn't say CM Punk on commentary, even though he is the best on the mic, best in the ring, and the best on
I wouldn't have him on Raw though, because that opens up the Drew McIntyre can of worms. They want to save that because if Drew is going to stay, that CM Punk Drew McIntyre feud will fucking cook when Punk is cleared to return.
Right. So I mean, I think they're not going to put him.
Jesus,
If they put Punk, it's on SmackDown right when they announce a new team of that need to fill each other out. I don't think that's so. I just wouldn't put, even though I would love to see Punk on commentary at this point. The way they just literally rolled out new commentary teams, and then you can have like randomly like CM Punk do like. I don't know,
yeah, they
like
just did a major shakeup. But yeah, it's like
so
NXT.
Just the timing's not there, even though again with the CM Punk injury, just wasn't.
I would use Punk in NXT while Booker's out.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say NXT. I won't be watching it, but you can put him on NXT.
No surprise.
Man, hey, they did it to themselves, not me.
One last thing about the press conference. I loved the Becky Rhea tease. The Becky Rhea tease was fucking awesome. The crowd was hot for it. Cannot wait for that match. I've been looking forward to that match for a long time. I love Rhea and Becky very, very much. They're two of my favorites right now of all time. I love them both, and I've been looking forward to them throwing down. And I wonder which way it's going to go, because I could see it going either way. I could see Rhea retaining and getting elevating more by beating Becky and Becky putting over like that, or I could see Becky win the title again one more time. She's got a book coming out. She's getting a lot of headlines. She's still, fans still love her, so that adds some intrigue. It's like I don't know which way it'll go.
And my final thought is shout out to Bayley. She did win the Royal Rumble. CM Punk even did that after the show. I know they weren't really a part of it, but here's the thing. Unfortunately, everyone was tuning in to see what happens with The Rock and Roman and Seth and CODY and all of that, and where that one's already been made. So you can let them cook all they want on SmackDown.
Entirely what Gift said there. I agree with that. It's like, it's like they were making very clear that it's Becky Rhea's at WrestleMania. They would not be doing that if that's going to happen. It's like that's obviously what's going to happen. So yeah, it felt it. I get what they were doing because it's the hype, but it also devalues the Chamber a little bit because it makes it very. It's like everybody and their children at this point knows Becky's winning that Chamber match. There's no. Yeah. It's like they are not going to not have Rhea Becky. They need the big matchups right now, especially with what's happened with the shakeup and everything, with the injuries to Seth and Punk throwing all kinds of monkey wrenches and what the original plans were. They still need those big name matches, and Becky Rhea is one of the big money matches for this Mania, and it's like so it's going to happen. So yeah, it's like it's very obvious she's going to win the Chamber. I agree, but as long as she gets to look good, I think is what's important.
Right. Punk and Cole for Chamber as far as the commentary, cool, I guess. But again, that's a Raw base. It's going to be kind of more of a Raw based.
They're not going to not have Cole and McAfee do commentary together.
They're just not.
I maybe throw Punk in there and make it a three-way.
But who knows? But yeah, I mean, it may be a pay-per-view or just a random NXT because Punk does like going to NXT and helping train and giving pointers and stuff like that. He's always been big on doing that.
Yeah, Punk is very involved in NXT. So do not be surprised.
A couple other nuggets as far as news.
Outside of that whole
let's see. Yeah. So real quick, Tony Khan announced that Dynamite will be in March 13th. Will be at the TD Garden in BOSSton, Massachusetts. And if you zoomed in on the BOSSton, it had two S's with money signs. And I'm not saying it's related to anybody.
And then big business with the S as a dollar sign.
Right.
It's like Tony Khan couldn't be more clear without saying her name of who's coming.
That's the one thing AEW is really good at is keeping a secret while it's the biggest secret known to man. Like it's because they did that with CM Punk.
And then this all but confirms, and SRS put it out after the Tony made the announcement that it's a done deal. Mercedes Moné is going to AEW, and this is huge.
Yes.
This has been speculated for months if she's going to go there. Word is that she was just they weren't sure when or if it was official, because there was word that WWE talked to her about coming back and things didn't work out. Reports are that it was about money. We don't know. But after this announcement, especially with the $ S's, especially BOSSton as in boss time, it's very clear Mercedes Moné is on her way. And is she alone? Is what people are wondering too.
Yeah, because they were saying, I mean, Rainmaker for Revolution or big business. So,
it's like if he's got Okada signed too, don't be surprised if Okada also shows up. Because remember, also Ospreay.
Right. Go ahead, finish your thought, and then we can talk on Ospreay.
Because think about it. Remember what happened when he got both Danielson and Adam Cole. He debuted them on the same night,
right?
For a double whammy punch. You think Tony won't do the same thing again if he's got Mercedes and Okada signed? Mm-hmm. And we already know Ospreay's on his way once his New Japan contract is over with, because it's up this month. His commitments are done.
Yeah,
so
that's basically he's like, also when will Ospreay, because the reason Ospreay hasn't been, and of course, I'm pretty sure you already knew, but the reason that he hasn't been is because he's been under contract for like until January, until after Wrestle Kingdom. So
yeah,
and so then
Ospreay's going to be arriving soon. It's just a matter of just when. It's like I think he could debut at Revolution in a match, but I think they're going to probably it's like maybe he might be there, but that would be a big. It's like that would be a cool move if he had both Ospreay, Okada, and Mercedes all make their official AEW debuts on the same night. It's just go bam, bam, bam. It's like yes, my roster is stacked now.
Yeah, and of course now the reports now is basically known that she's going to be at AEW. Is people are now saying like, oh yeah, she's been under contract with AEW for quite some time. I'm like, whatever. You're now just like, oh yeah, I'm just going to throw my hat in the ring of knowing stuff. Whereas our SRS has been on it the whole time, and people keep sitting there and be like, oh, you're full of crap. You're going to eat your words when she appears.
And then he's like,
WWE event.
Yeah, it's like yeah, I hate it when it's like people give SRS crap, but it's like he's like 99% accurate. This man, so it's like But anyway, to Mercedes Impact quickly. This is fucking huge for AEW's women division, having Mercedes come in. She's one of the best women's wrestlers on the planet. She was one of the horsewomen. She's one of the main reasons why the women's revolution happened in WWE and why women's wrestling is so prominent now. She was one of those architects. It's like, so you haven't, do yourself a favor and go watch her and Bayley's Iron Woman match in NXT. Was declared match of the year. The first time ever a women's match was declared match of the year by Pro Wrestling Insider. It's that fucking good. It was a game changer. It got people's attention. So she's a big deal. She's a fantastic wrestler. She's great on the mic. This is all now in Tony's court that he does not fumble this. He's like, he cannot afford to fumble Mercedes coming in to help elevate the women's division to the next level, because we have been saying that the women's division needs to be properly elevated for a long fucking time. It's like, sorry for the hand gestures, but it's just like, it's like, this is a big deal. It's like he's got it nailed. And hopefully Mercedes is going to have some input about the booking, and he should fucking listen. And because this sets up some incredible opportunities. I mean, think about it. You throw in, you got Mercedes Moné, and you already have Tony, who's killing it with the timeless gimmick. Deonna Purrazzo just came in, who's awesome. You've got Hikaru Shida. Julia Hart's becoming really good. You've got Chris Statlander, Willow Nightingale, Sky Blue.
Julia Hart, did you say her?
Yeah, Julia Hart. Yep, I mentioned her.
Chris Statlander.
Yep.
Ruby Soho. I mean, she's
Soho Soraya's still there, yeah.
Yeah.
But then if you eventually get the two big names that are out injured currently, Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter back, now you got a women's division.
Right.
It's like you got a stacked women's division.
And here's my hot take. She's a bigger draw than Ospreay and Okada right now.
To the
US.
Fans, yes.
To the US. That I was you know where I was going with that. I'm like, she's a bigger draw. Because for us wrestling people who just love all and consume all things wrestling from here to Japan to Russia. Okay, even though we don't talk about Russian wrestlers because whatever. You get what I'm saying? Is Okada and Ospreay are huge, and they earn every accolade they ever got. But when a person dates, for example, remember when Jay White debuted? Remember his pop? Wasn't really that much.
Like
compared to what we know him for.
The hardcore fans will go nuts for Ospreay and Okada because they've wrestled before them. This is different. This is another big who is only a WWE name coming in. That is huge. I mean, not to diss Edge because it is like Edge is like your turn is like it's had its moments, but it's not had like a gigantic impact. This is on the level of Punk coming in, on the level of Daniel Bryan and Adam Cole jumping ship for her to come over.
It's a big deal.
And plus, it makes sense because she still wants to do the Japan stuff. If she goes to AEW, their great relationship with New Japan will allow her to go to Japan and do stuff while still wrestling here in the States for AEW. It's a win-win for her. She wouldn't be able to do that if she went back to WWE unless Triple H made a lot of hoops. Now, Triple H is trying to open doors. We've seen that in Japan and other places. But, that's baby steps. Whereas Tony's already had the back and forth with New Japan, and now he's doing stuff with CMML with the Luchadors there. So it's like, I'm excited for this. Tony, better not botch this because
just do what you did on Wednesday every single week, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll talk about this week's Dynamite. Like it's woo.
I mean, maybe she's so just rusty in the ring. She's just not that good in the ring anymore.
Yeah, it's like Saraya. Yeah, it's like
she's found the mic, but her in ring is just so three steps behind.
Nowhere near the level she was before.
No.
The neck injury forced her into partial retirement.
She just seems 3 steps behind everybody. Unfortunately. And it's not, and as just all injuries, it's not anything with her. We know the talent's there.
It was nice that Tony gave her the feel-good moment of winning the title at Wembley in front of her family and in her home country. That was nice for her to do that for her. But it's like she needs to be carried. She used to be able to carry people. She needs to be carried now. Mm-hmm. It's like she needs someone who's really good in the ring to look good. She needs someone like Tony or Deanna or Mercedes to go against, because otherwise it's very obvious that it's like she can't move as fast. She's still trying to take it easy. So it's like, I feel bad for her. It's like that's why that's why you haven't seen her wrestle very much for quite a while. No. It's mostly been Ruby doing a lot of the wrestling.
Yeah.
I think for various obvious reasons.
Yeah. So, oh yeah. I mean, I know she's on ROH, but Athena's solid.
Athena should not be on RH. They're wasting her on RH. It's like, from everything I've heard, everyone's saying she's been killing it on ROH. She should be on AEW. Mm-hmm.
Shout out Billy Starks.
Yep.
She's just getting better with Billy Starks there.
So we go to the Scott D'Amore.
Yeah. So just to kind of highlight, and then I'll let Justin kind of fill us in. So Scott D'Amore has been in charge of Impact, TNA, NWA, you name the acronyms of what they've been and names that they've had. Scott D'Amore has been up in the writer's room, upper management for 20 years, it feels like at this point. He was there with Team Canada way back when as like manager, but still kind of producer, stuff like that. He's been in charge of Impact TNA for maybe the past 8 to 10 years.
It's been a long time.
Around there. It's been a long time.
He's been the president for several years.
Right. And he basically was the one kind of got some talent in, was able to, this past like a couple of years, they've had a really good run as far as solid booking shows, stuff like that. and got some, and then he orchestrated some other deals to get more eyes on the product, and then switched it to TNA. They had this big thing. It was a great pay-per-view they had. Okada came in, Will Ospreay. They had solid matches. Former Dana Brooke, I forget what her name is now, and then Dolph Ziggler, which he goes by his real name now, and he got them over to there. All that, and then randomly this week, Scott D'Amore's out, and apparently he's been knowing this for a while and try to buy the company away from the investors, and they said no.
Yeah, this was it was shocking. Everyone, when the news broke, everyone literally online went, "What the fuck is this?" It's like WTF. So yeah, so Anthem, which is the company that owns TNA currently, announced that Scott D'Amore had been removed as president, basically fired, and replaced by someone in Anthem to take over running TNA. Everyone was just like, didn't see this coming. The word was, talent was, very shocked and, of course, very upset and disappointed about this because he's beloved by the roster over there for the work he's put into trying to mold TNA into a viable promotion. TNA's got a lot of praise for, its women's division and for a lot of the stuff they've done over the last few years. And, he was the architect of that. It's like Jordan Gray showing what the Rumble was because Scott D'Amore and Triple H worked out a cool deal.
Fucking good. It kills me how good she is.
Yeah,
and she's in TNA still.
Yeah, and so then because the word was that the talent, a good portion of the talent had a Zoom meeting with the Anthem president, and they were explaining the whole thing. They didn't get to ask questions. It was all very corporate. And then word got out today that apparently Scott kind of sensed that this was coming and attempted and made a very good offer to buy TNA from Anthem. That it was a good, legit offer. He had the back, like the financial backing in order to do it. If they could have accepted it, but they turned him down. And so when that happened, he knew his days were numbered, apparently. So it's like he was not surprised that this was happening. He had a sense that this was coming, which is why he tried to buy the company try to salvage it, so that he could be able to stay involved because he knew that his days were numbered. People are wondering why did they do this after he's been so successful. We don't know. Maybe they want to take the company in a certain direction. Who knows? But I feel bad for the TNA talent, and TNA has definitely been weakened because of this.
I kind of felt the same way. Ever since that last pay-per-view they had, where they had some decent signings, and their women's division's always been killing it. And you can just tell they got that kind of and they had that there was something very natural about what they were doing right now. Kind of reminded me of that old Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniel era of you can just tell the locker room was really at a good spot. They were putting on solid matches or had really decent storylines. Yep. They were getting decent stars to bring more eyeballs.
People like Ospreay and freaking Okada to come over and listen to them. It's like
so huge. They were in the right direction, and you could tell the locker room was at a good spot. And I was kind of like GIF, I was like, maybe it might get there. I'm okay. You got my attention. You had my curiosity at least. I'm not going full DiCaprio from Django Unchained. You don't have my attention yet, but you have my curiosity. And then when I saw this drop, I'm like, I'm kind of like GIF. I was like, I guess we'll see if something happens, cool, and I'll tune in for it. But most of the time, it's going to be back to me not really watching it. It's basically kind of, you know what? I might put it right there with NXT. Not going to watch it till you make something right. So, but yeah, and then is Scott D'Amore in WWE? I don't know.
It's possible. Actually, you know what? I'll tell you right now. If Tony Khan was a smart man, he should hire Scott and have him help with the booking, because that would be a godsend to Tony, and that would be a huge help to AEW. It's like if Tony was smart, he would hire Scott as soon as possible to help behind the scenes at AEW.
Because you know what? You know what the TNA did so much better than your companies, Tony? The women's division. You know who did that? Scott. So give him the money. You don't care about the women's division, so might as well let Scott do his thing. At least.
Hey, Tishko, what's up? Appreciate
Hey.
you being here.
So that's that. And what's up with our boy Cash, man?
Cash may be in trouble.
A little bit.
Well, for me, maybe not remember, but a couple months ago he was arrested in Florida on a gun charge that he a road rage incident led to him brandishing a gun at somebody. He got on bail and he was back on television. But now word is that the prosecutors in Florida are pursuing criminal charges against him. And these are serious charges because if he's convicted, unless he reaches a plea deal, he'll spend at least 5 years in prison.
This is not
So I'm very concerned about his wrestling future and the future of FTR. It's like I'm sure it's like we'll see if he can reach a plea deal. It sounds like it's like they're very serious. So like him avoiding jail time, I don't know. It's like yeah, this is rough.
This is not a good thing. It's
No.
not good. Obviously he did do he did the crime, but typically these type of like altercations, they'll figure out something else, move on, whatever. But nope, he must have really pissed off the wrong people in this situation for them to after all this time.
We're gonna have to keep an eye on this and see what happens, especially what Tony's gonna do.
Yeah.
It's like it's like Josh and I we are very vocal about our love for FTR. But this is he's in serious trouble here. So we're gonna have to see what happens.
It's breaking my heart. It's
Yep.
So think about. Go ahead.
It's like he did something stupid and he may end up having to pay a very high price for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Speaking about breaking your hearts, I guess we can go over NXT Vengeance Day.
Okay, you want to do that first to the SmackDown?
I mean, we could. You just want to wrap NXT all in one?
We can if you want. You can play both the Vengeance Day and the NXT TV recap back to back if you want.
Okay. So
or we could do talk Vengeance Day and then go right into NXT as a follow up.
Yeah, we'll just do that. I got to rip the Band-Aid off. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to vent.
I need to rip the Band-Aid off.
Let's go. Hey everybody, here's a recap of what happened at the most recent NXT pay-per-view /PLE event from this weekend, NXT's Judgment Day. The show kicked off with the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic as the Wolf Dogs, Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker, defeated the Trick Mill gang of Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams to win the Dusty Cup tournament, and they will get a NXT Tag Team title shot against the D'Angelo family. Dijak defeated Joe Gacy in a no disqualification match. Then we had a mixed tag match where the D'Angelo family, Tony, Stacks, and Adriana Rizzo defeated Out the Mud with Scripps at ringside, pick up the victory. Then we had the NXT Women's title match. Originally, it was a one-on-one match between champion Lyra Valkyria and Roxanne Perez. But then all of a sudden, Lola Vice came out and cashed in her breakout tournament contract for a title shot at any time she wants and turned the title match into a three-way triple threat. Crazy action. Tatum Paxley, of course, was also involved. In the end, Lyra was able to hit one of her finishers on Lola Vice to remain NXT Women's Champion. To say Roxanne Perez was upset is an understatement because she was shown viciously attacking Lola Vice backstage later in the show. Then we had North American title match. New champion Oma Femi successfully defended the title against Dragon Lee in a rematch. Oma Femi looking really good. And then the main event, NXT Championship match, Ilya Dragunov defending against Trick Williams. This was an amazing, hard-hitting match. Lots of drama. The finish came when both men went for their finishers, but Ilya was able to hit the Torpedo Moscow on Trick instead of him hitting the Trick knee. And that was enough to finally put Trick down for Ilya to remain NXT champion. Carmelo Hayes had been at ringside the whole time, trying to cheer him on. He got in the ring, was consoling Trick, saying that it's okay, they got each other. The copyright logo came up, looked like the show was going to go off the air, but swerve, so to speak, it did not. The show kept going, and when Trick had his back turned, Melo finally did the heel turn on him. He chop blocked him on the knee that he had supposedly was injured during the match, and proceeded to use a chair to destroy the knee as the fans booed Melo out of the building for the heel turn. Officials finally came out, and Melo left, yelling at the fans that it was their fault that he did what he did to Trick as the show went off the air. Yeah, so that's all that happened at NXT Vengeance Day.
Okay, here's the NXT recap.
Hey everyone, here's a recap of what happened on this week's episode of NXT. Just as Wade Barrett filled in for Booker T, who is unfortunately out for a few weeks due to having to have a surgical procedure happen. This time, although Wade Barrett was for the pay-per-view, they had Byron Saxton with Vic Joseph this week on the show. We opened with Carmelo Hayes coming out with a steel chair. He sat in the ring on the mic and looked like he was going to talk about what happened, explaining, of course, his actions. There was a very loud and vocal fuck you Melo chant that had to be bleeped out. And Carmelo was like, nah, we'll do this later, and left the ring. Then Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin were at ringside with the Dusty Cup trophy, celebrating their victory in the Dusty Cup. Then we had our first opening match, Axiom and Nathan Frazier taking on Edris Enfield and Malik Blade. Axiom and Nathan Frazier picked up the victory, but the Wolf Dogs attacked and beat them down afterwards. Ilya Dragunov then came out. He said that he had a lot of respect for Trick Williams and likes him a lot, but he couldn't let him defeat him and take the title. He then turned his attention to the heinous actions of Carmelo Hayes, saying that he'd been making false accusations against him for months now, and now everyone can see his true colors. He calls him a traitor son of a bitch and wants him to come out and face him. But instead of Melo coming out, Dijak does. He gets in Ilya's face. The officials have to keep them apart and setting up a match for them later in the show. Jason Shane and Thea Hale are talking about the success of the Chase U calendar and more drama between Thea Hale and Red Osborne and potential relationship between them. Speaking of Riley, he took on Lex King in a one-on-one match, which was set up during the Vengeance Day pay-per-view in a backstage segment. And Lex King picked up the victory when he got distracted by Thea Hale, or the lack thereof, in the crowd. We also had a promo segment with Von Wagner, Robert Stone, and his kids. So we set up Von Wagner, Robert Stone taking on Noam Dar and Oro Mensah in a tag team match next week. Riley Osborne was pretty down losing to Lex King, but Thea Hale Jason came up to him, and although she's kind of playing a little hard to get, Thea said that she definitely wants to go on a date with him for Valentine's Day. Then we had basically a revenge match as Roxanne Perez took on Lola Vice. Roxanne wanted to destroy Lola for cashing in her breakout contract, turning the title match a triple threat, and costing her chance to win the NXT Women's Championship again. Roxanne picked up the victory with, ironically, a little help from Tatum Paxton, who came out and distracted Lola Vice, allowing Roxanne to hit her with Pop Rocks for the victory. Then we had a women's tag team match, Fallon Henley and Ren Sinclair taking on the Metaphor duo of Jakira Jackson and Lash Legend. The heels picked up the victory here with Lash Legend powerbombing Ren Sinclair. Brooks Jackson and Josh Briggs were talking backstage, and basically Briggs kind of got in Brooks' face, telling him he needs to grow up and find out who he wants to be. Jada Parker asked Ava Raine to take on Adriana Rizzo one-on-one next week, and that was set up. And then she tells Ridge Holland that she can't put him in a handicap match against Gales. It's not fair or safe for him. But she offers to make it a gauntlet match instead, where he can face each member Gales one-on-one in a row. If he can beat one, he'll get the next one. And Ridge is okay with that. Then we had our main event match. Dijak taking on Ilya Dragunov, non-title. These two beat the crap out of each other, but Ilya picked up the victory with the H-bomb. And then after the match, Carmelo came out to attack him from behind. Before this, of course, I forgot to mention that Melo, of course, did a promo explaining that his actions, saying that basically, Trick thought he was better than him, and then the fans embraced him, and that no, it's like he was always the sidekick. Melo was the star, and he did what he had to do, and that you won't be seeing Trick for a while because he's in the hospital with Booker T right now. Great heel promo, great stuff from Carmelo. So back to what happened. So he attacked Ilya after the match, took the title belt, bashed Ilya in the head with it, and stood tall over Ilya to close out the show, making his intention clear he wants one more shot at the NXT title before he's going to get called up to the main roster. So that's all that happened on this week's episode of NXT.
Erroneous on all counts. Okay, just everything sucks. Okay, dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow, dishonor on everybody. Right? This is what it just feels like being like a Bills and a Cowboys fan at this point. They just keep dangling the carrot in front of us, and then we just keep going after it. I don't know why. We just keep going after it, thinking we're finally going to catch it. And then when it's sitting there right in front of us, they throw a bunch of bull crap in front of us, and we still. And now she's the face. She's it. Timothy Stratton's gone. Cora Jade out for a year. Give her the strap forever. I don't care.
I love you.
It should be called the not as good as Roxanne NXT Women's Championship. Make it happen.
Look, I know you were not gonna. I had a feeling Roxanne was not gonna win.
I know. So all bias aside, this was a really good show. That was a really solid show. And Braun, please don't run the ropes that hard again. That scared the hell out of me.
So someone probably got in trouble backstage because those ropes were not tightened properly. It's like we're lucky Braun and Melo did not get seriously fucking hurt. They couldn't. That was a little scary there. No, this was a really solid show. The opening was great. The storytelling with the Trick with Melo finally turning a Trick was so well done because it's like it for a while there I was wondering is the turn not going to happen? They set up so perfectly. He took the spear to protect Trick from Braun, and it's like, no, I got your back. And he's all like, he didn't insist on being in the corner. Trick invited him in because he trusted him. And then like the whole thing where he got Ilya mad and he attacked him and he just happened to fall backwards and knock Trick and hurt his knee on accident. It's like also I should have really seen it coming. He was wearing a black leather jacket.
I was going to say that.
It's like shades of HBK turning on Marty Jannetty at the barbershop. So that should have been a red flag right there. But
yeah,
they did the turn brilliantly because I know some people felt this dragged out. They still nailed it because right now Melo is the most hated man in NXT right now. It's like when I was watching the show, those fucking Melo chants were really freaking loud. I felt bad for the guys in the booth with the dump button going, oh, shit.
You can tell it died real quick on what they were saying.
Yep. And apparently word is it was so bad that they asked the fans to stop.
Yeah.
Because we need to keep the show clean, guys.
It's like, guys, love it. You're doing exactly what we want you to do because you're wrestling, but we got to put this on television.
Yeah, it's like we can't have our guys constantly hitting the dump button because you're chanting "fuck you, Mello." And you notice how when Mello came back out, they switched to "screw you, Mello."
Right. Yeah. No, it's like that's one crowd they can control is the NXT crowd.
But
there's rules and regulation because it's limited tickets and all the other stuff.
I was happy Braun and Corbin won the Dust Cup because the War Dogs are awesome, and I'm Braun and Corbin pairing was a genius move. The chemistry between them is great. Their ribbing between them is great. I love it. I'm gonna enjoy riding the War Dogs for as long as it lasts. Because it's been hella fun watching the two of them play off each other. It's good for Corbin. It's good for Braun. It's a win-win.
It's gone now. It's gone now. Like I don't know where you go with them. Are you gonna have him win the NXT Championship while Braun's doing?
I don't know. It's like Braun has literally got one foot in NXT and one foot in the main roster at this point. So it's like because Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis are fighting over who gets Braun. You know, it's like same with Jade. You know, it's like the free agent battles have begun. But that was great. The mixed tag was solid. Dijak. It was nice to see Dijak finally win a match because I fucking love Dijak. Been a fan of his ever since his Dominic Dijakovic days before Retribution completely fucked him over. When he got called up the main roster. So nice to see him finally get a win, especially against Joe Gacy. But I like what they're doing with Joe Gacy. I like that they're leaning into the cray. I like this a lot better than the Bray Wyatt cult leader wannabe shit that he was doing with Schism. This is much better.
The wannabe Bray Wyatt basically was what it was.
Yeah, he's a wannabe.
Guess
Bray
what,
Wyatt.
dude? No one's Bray. All right,
No.
He was this different breed.
Now, as far as the women's title match, yes, I understand you're disappointed Roxanne won, but I was not expecting Roxanne to win. I was like, well, what they're gonna do here is Paxley gonna interfere and cost her the match because that's kind of a little too obvious. But then Lola Vice came out and cashed her contract. I was like, oh, okay, now I see where this is going. Now, Lyra can win the match, but Roxanne is protected. She didn't take the pin or the pinfall. Yes, she didn't win. But it's very obvious that it's like they're protecting Roxanne for a reason. It's like if they didn't really give a damn about Roxanne, she would have just jobbed to Lyra without a second thought. It's like they set this up with Lola Vice to build their feud up even more and give Roxanne a legit reason to like give me a fucking rematch because it was supposed to be you and me and Lola Vice and your stalker psycho stalker friend fucked everything up. It's like Roxanne Roxanne's not taking more shit, man. Like I love that when they showed it backstage where she went after Lola Vice was trying to kill her. It's like you fucked me over, bitch. And she got some of her revenge out by taking her out this week. Ironically, with help from Paxley, which I thought was it's like there's a lot of weird twists and turns going on with this title storyline. I don't know where it's going to go, especially with Paxley, because at some point Lyra's going to be like, "Yo, Psycho," it's like, talk to the hand. It's like,
yeah. I respectfully disagree. The way you protect Roxanne is to give her the title forever. I mean, that's just obviously what you're supposed to do.
But another thing I saw that was posted on social media, I don't know if Roxanne did it or WWE did it, that also kind of foreshadowed why I think that we're going to get a rematch with them and it's going to be at Stand and Deliver, was because they showed a shot of Roxanne looking at the WrestleMania sign.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, that's the future, guys. That is the future. She is the prodigy. Obviously, is what they're going with. But I call her two other things: the Golden Goose.
What better way to showcase both Roxanne and Lyra by giving them a rematch at Stand and Deliver at WrestleMania weekend?
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, and then another name for Roxanne is the Inevitable. Okay, because no matter what you do, she's inevitable. I'm just
wondering. I wonder if they're because it's like, I wonder what's going to happen with Roxanne. Is she going to be called up soon, or they're going to keep her on for a little bit longer?
You have to keep her on now because of Cora, and you already took away Tiffany.
I think so.
That's the only thing. Like, it was Cora. If Tiffany was always in the cards.
It was very obvious that the plan was Lyra Cora feud because they were building Cora up to challenge Lyra for the title, and then unfortunately, it's like she got the freak injury to her ACL. And so they pivoted and like, okay, no, the next best option we have is Roxanne. And it was a good pivot because Roxanne is awesome, and they were having a hell of a match before Lola Vice got in. In fact, the match was still even good, even though Lola Vice got involved. Lola Vice really impressed me in that match. She's come a long way. She's definitely got the potential. So she acquitted herself well. I thought it was just smart booking to set up an obvious rematch between Lyra and Roxanne, and that's going to be even more intense because Roxanne's going to be going all out.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like you saw the hype video where they were talking about how, like, like she got stripped of the title because of injury. I still don't know if that was 100% legit or not.
If they're going with this and it gets to the point, I don't know how NXT does it, but I thought they could. Do they still do street fights?
Yeah,
that would be what I would book for them.
Oh, I would totally see that. Yeah,
that the way the way it's feuding right now, it's leading to like blow off match being stipulate. Obviously, a lot of blow off matches to this caliber is going to be a stip, and I would go with street fight. The way
they need Roxanne to help give stability for a little bit longer because Cora's unfortunately out for Friday. It'll be impressive if she comes back before the end of the year. I'll be impressed.
Mm-hmm.
Nikita got a little banged up again. She's out for a bit. Don't know how long she's going to be back. I hope it's not serious. Tiffany just got called up, and deservedly so, because Tiffany's fucking awesome, and we'll talk about that on Smackdown. And so it's like they've lost a couple of pieces down there in NXT. So it's like Roxanne's going to get her chance to shine on the main roster. It's like I think they're going to hold on to her for just a little bar. I think this is different from Braun, where it's like they don't need Braun. I guess they just wanted to have Braun be seasoned just a little bit more, and they know he didn't maybe really need it. I thought he was ready a while ago, but he is more than fucking ready now, and it's very clear that his time in NXT is just about up with what's been going on lately. But I do see Roxanne hanging around NXT just a little bit longer because they definitely need her.
That's what my thought process was either two things. Either one, they were planning on calling her up with Tiffany because they were both in the Rumble, or two, that Roxanne spot was supposed to be Cora's, and then she got hurt. So it was either one of the two. But
it's hard to say.
I'm with the former. Is Roxanne? I mean, she could have a couple more title reigns, but like her and Tiffany and Cora, we kept saying those three were above the rest. Tiffany's gone. Cora's gone. Unfortunately, she's on the shelf. You got to have a staple in NXT, especially with them going to CW. You've got to have a proven commodity to at least carry a division and run that and push that division forward. Now, Gigi Dolan's I think Gigi Dolan's, this is her time for her to really show what she's got.
I hope so, because she's been jobbing a lot lately. I'm worried about her future.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. It's like, because Lyra's really come a long way. She keeps getting better. But yeah, it's like there's not a lot of other credible opponents for her that she hasn't already dealt with. Like they could go back to Blair Davenport again, I think, potentially, but this is the money feud for the NXT Women's Division right now, because Roxanne and Lyra are the most seasoned, and it's like now next time that they're going to be one-on-one, it's going to be even more of a banger. It was already feeling like it was heading toward banger territory before Lola Vice got involved, but so I'm all for it. But it's very clear how high they are on Roxanne. The only two NXT women that were in the Rumble were Roxanne and Tiffany. That tells you all you need to know how they feel about those two.
That's what I'm saying. Like, was that spot? Because we were all convinced Tiffany was going to be in the Rumble this year. Yeah. Typically, they like to highlight an NXT person that no one's seen. Yeah. Roxanne, this was her second year in a row. That's why I think that was supposed to be Cora Jade's spot.
I could definitely see that.
Because they typically like to highlight a couple of NXT people on top of and then one's going to be called up and one's not. Same thing. Carmelo and Braun were in, and those were that you can't tell me that those weren't supposed to be.
Yeah, because once this feud with Trick, because Trick is going to come back, I don't know if Melo's going to face Ilya for the title, stand and deliver. They might do it because Roadblock's coming up. Roadblock is kind of like the mini takeover show they're going to do before stand and deliver for Mania weekend. I could see Melo challenging Ilya one more time at Roadblock, and Trick comes back and it's like, and then it's Carmelo versus Trick at Stand and Deliver, and that will be Melo's swan song out of NXT.
Yeah, Trick's gonna
Trick
beat
will
him.
Trick will beat him, get his revenge, and send him out of NXT,
and then carry NXT for another year or so.
It's only a matter of time before Trick wins the NXT title. It's not his time yet. Ilya is awesome. Trick is good in the ring. He's still learning. This was he and Ilya crushed it. That was his best singles match so far. He and Ilya beat the fucking shit out of each other.
Yeah, great. there was definitely some. You can tell that they were NXT stars and not main roster stars. You can definitely not Ilya. Ilya can put on a masterclass. Trick though, Ilya you gotta come on, boy.
Ilya will be called up whenever they feel like they don't need. Sean doesn't feel like he needs him next anymore. Sean mentioned in the call, like he's like, I don't want Braun to go to the main roster because I still have ideas for it. It's like HBK loves Braun. It's just like I don't want to let you go. I know I have to eventually, but I don't want to let you go just yet.
Right, and I don't think Braun was going to be called up if the Brock Lesnar stuff didn't happen. Honestly, because the way they were going with the War Dogs, they could have had a title run and be great, but you had to pivot.
It definitely and plus the reaction from the fans sealed it. Were like, no, he's ready. Yeah. It's like same with Tiffany. Tiffany did so well in the Rumble. They were like, nope, we're calling her up now. It's like I was shocked. I was like, oh, when she walked out of Nick Aldis' office, I was like, yes. Yeah. Every time on SmackDown, baby.
Yeah. So no, but overall, all biases aside,
really good NXT and good follow up on the main show. Carmelo, the heat on Carmelo is off the charts, man. It's like they hit a home run with the heel turn. They did it just right.
He's on that Dominic heat.
Yeah, I know it was Dominic level heat he was getting from the NXT faithful.
I'm pretty sure X-Pac is sitting somewhere and seeing Dominic, and they're calling it Dominic Heat now. He goes, finally, they're not me anymore. It's not me. It's over. It's Dominic Heat now. It's not X-Pac Heat. Even though the X-Pac Heat wasn't because he was a bad guy and he was an asshole. It's just because.
Yeah, it's like I'm wondering what's going to happen. It's like I'd be shocked if Corbin and Braun win the tag titles from the D'Angelo family. It's like because it's like, I mean, like I said, Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce are literally fighting over who gets Braun right now. So it's like it's time. It's not going to be an NXT for much longer.
Talk about the worst stipulation, the stupidest stipulation ever for WrestleMania is Nick Aldis versus Adam Pearce for Braun Breaker. That's moving some money. Let's go. WrestleMania 40. What are we going to do?
Okay.
Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce for Braun Breaker.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, that's man. Screw The Rock and Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Hell, even Seth Rollins. I watching WrestleMania to see who gets the rights to Braun Breaker from two guys that are one can still go and one maybe can. I don't know.
I'm very interested to see where Braun and Jade are going to land at this point because they're the two big names that the two big free agents right now that they're fighting over. So it's weird to see what happens.
Well, where's Bianca? That's where Jade's going to go. Well,
I think
Jade's going to be on. Jade's going to be on Raw. You have to. You signed Tiffany and Naomi to SmackDown?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's enough star power on SmackDown, especially when Charlotte comes back. So it's like. Yeah, because oh man, yeah, Jade teeing off against Becky against Rhea, it's like hell yes.
You just gotta
and also Nia's gonna want her revenge on Jade for costing her the Rumble because she was dominating until Jade got in there and then Jade tossed her like a bad habit.
They're gonna make us wait so long for Jade Bianca, aren't they?
I don't think we'll see Jade Bianca this year. I think that's next year.
Oh, that's gotta be so good.
But it will be worth the wait because by that time Jade will be able to. It's like they know that's a future money match because of the reaction, the stare down between Bianca and Jade at the Rumble was. You know they're like, okay, yep, future WrestleMania match, check.
Yep. Alrighty, well that is NXT.
Yep.
I look forward to your review since I'm not going to watch it from now on. Until
I'll keep you posted, buddy.
Let me know. Wink. I'm not watching it. Never keeping up with it. Nothing. Well, nope. I'm done.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah. Even though every week I'm like, oh yeah, and this happened, and I don't know what do you think about this. But no, you got to keep the bit alive. All right, Smackdown.
Yeah. Hey there. Here we go with a recap of what happened last week on Friday Night SmackDown. The show opened surprisingly with Logan Paul coming out, bragging about that he beat Kevin Owens to keep his United States championship at the Royal Rumble, even though it was by disqualification. Kevin Owens then came out and said, yep, he got caught. He complimented the ref for catching him trying to use the brass knuckles that Logan Paul intended to use on him. But he would do it again just to knock Logan Paul out on his behind. And he made it clear he wants a rematch. But Logan Paul said, no way. And then his buddies, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, came out for the opening match, which was Austin Theory again picked up the victory when Logan Paul tried to slip Theory the brass knuckles. But once again, Kevin Owens intercepted them, blasted them, used them to blast Theory, hid them in his pants so that Jessica Carr could not see them, and referee Jessica Carr then counted the victory pin for KO, much to Logan Paul's dismay. We went to the back and saw that Naomi was exiting Nick Aldis' office with Bianca Belair, Shotzi, and Michin Mia Yim waiting outside. And she revealed to them that she had signed with SmackDown, and which made them very happy, and they all hugged. Then Tiffany Stratton then walked out of the office as well and revealed that she had also just signed a contract to join SmackDown, finally leaving NXT officially. She got into it with the ladies and especially Bianca, but she then slapped Mia Yim in the face, which led to a match between them later in the show. Then we had a first in a number one contenders mini tournament for the undisputed tag team titles. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, British Strong Style, took on a Latino World Order, Legado del Fantasma, and Pretty Deadly in a fatal four-way. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate picked up the victory. Really fun match. And they would then face the winner of the Raw four-way on SmackDown next week. And whoever wins that match will then go on to face Judgment Day for the tag team titles at the Elimination Chamber. Backstage, Io Sky, Asuka, and Kairi Sane were seen hanging out and chatting and laughing in Japanese. And then Io Sky said in English that tonight Bayley is done. And they all left together laughing. And we cut to show Bayley hanging out in the doorway, having heard everything they said and looking pretty sad. Then when we came back from commercial, Damage Control came out to the ring without Dakota Kai, who was not there this week. We were shown watching everything backstage with Nick Aldis and Ed Pierce in the ring, waiting to see who Bayley was going to pick. Bayley talked about how, she wanted everything the best for Damage Control and that how they were going to take over and that the group had become like a family. But Io and them were mocking her behind her back. She had some kind of a dirty look and then continued so that she could face Rhea Ripley for the title mania or go a different route. She then turned to the ladies and asked if they were done laughing and revealed she has picked up a little bit of Japanese along the way and knows what they have been saying while talking behind her backstage. She wants to know why. All she wanted was for Damage Control to be the best, to be at the top of WWE. But while she was saying this to Io, Asuka and Kairi attacked her from behind, and it turned into a 3-1 beatdown. But Bayley is not your typical stupid babyface because she came prepared. She pulled a lead pipe from out under the ring that she had hid there earlier, apparently, and used it to fend off Damage Control. She then got back on the mic and told Io that she chooses to face her for the WWE Women's Championship at WrestleMania, and she will see her there. A match between the Pride and the Final Testament just ended up turning into one big giant brawl. But the only surprise was a BFAB arriving to help the Pride fend off the Final Testament, officially joining the group. Nick Aldis was shown backstage talking to Braun Breaker, trying to get him to sign to SmackDown. Adam Pearce came in, told Braun not to sign until he talked with him on Monday about signing with Raw. Nick didn't like that, but Braun said that he's going to think things over between where he wants to go, and left. Jade Cargill then came in, wanted to talk to Aldis. Aldis told Pearce he needed to leave, but Adam got one more shot in before telling them that after he's done talking to Jade, they need to talk about what's going to happen at Elimination Chamber. Tiffany Stratton, making her SmackDown debut, defeated Michin Mayhem in a good match. Good debut for Tiffany. And then the big main event segment that everyone's been talking about. Cody confronting Roman Reigns. Roman and the Bloodline Entourage came out first. Roman said he couldn't let what Seth said about him on Raw slide. He verbally destroyed Seth in the world title, calling it the loser's bracket title. Said that he's not going to beg like Seth for Cody to fight him. He says that Cody can either fight the number 2 guy at WrestleMania or he can have a crack at numero uno. Cody came out. Cody asks Roman to have everyone leave the ring, so it's just 2 of them. He does. Cody talks about how he's spoken with a lot of people, friends, family, legends, about what to do, and he knows he's got Roman spooked. Roman knows that he had him dead to rights last year at WrestleMania until, of course, Solos bailed him out. And he said that one thing that Seth said that he doesn't agree with is that the title that Roman has is the Hollywood title. Still the same title that Bruno Sammartino and many other legends had, and the one that his father had taken away from him and never got to win. It's the one that he still wants. He says is finishing the story about taking everything from Roman, not just the title. And he's moving the goalposts, he said. He doesn't want the title. He wants to take everything from Roman. So he is going to be coming for the title to take it from Roman. But then he says not at WrestleMania, confusing people. He's taking counsel and with someone that knows Reigns very well. And that's when The Rock's music hit. Dwayne The Rock Johnson came out. Massive pop, of course. Shook hands with Cody and they hugged. Cody left the ring and Rock and Roman had a big stare down to end the show, making a clear indication that it looks like it's Rock and Roman at WrestleMania. And the internet exploded, which we will talk about. So that's what happened on Friday Night SmackDown.
Well, guess what? We already talked about it. So
yeah, we can skip the end stuff.
We can skip that part. The only thing you all missed was Justin having one of the best rants I've ever heard him have in a time. But anyway, that's in the past. I couldn't unfortunately record it at the time, and the dust has settled, and here we are. That being said, this was a great. Remember, I was kind of teasing about this is going to be the Bayley Io Sky thing is going to be like Triple H and Batista. I was so close. Yeah, so close.
It was very much Bayley listening in on what they were really saying was like very much like Batista eavesdropping on Triple H and Flair when the Evolution finally ended with Batista giving Triple H a thumbs down and showing and reeling. Not surprised, I'm facing you at Mania, pal.
Right.
The whole execution of Bayley and Damage Control on the breakup was done perfectly. It's like because the fans were completely behind her because it's like because this has been teased for a while and making very it's like and the fans are behind Bayley and it's like she's like yeah like what I was trying to make this group better. It's like wait and then it's like and then they attack her and I love that she pulls the pipe out. And I was just and it's like Wade Barrett's like she's not stupid. She saw this coming.
Right.
And she just goes to town and says, I'm challenging you, Io. Perfect. It was great segment. One of the best things on the show. Naomi and Tiffany Stratton being on SmackDown. Fuck yes. It's like I had a feeling Naomi was going to be on SmackDown. But then when Tiffany Stratton walked out, I was like, Tiffany time. And then she got right into Bianca's face. So that's a future feud right there. It's like that's going to be money. And then great debut match against Mia Yim, making her look great. So another win-win. Loved all the stuff between Nick Aldis and Pierce fighting over the free agents, Braun and Jade. It's like there's a lot of intrigue going on. So finally, BFAB decided to join the Pride. That was teased like a while ago. Now all of a sudden they pull it back on trigger. So I don't know. That was a little weird.
That was the one little flub with the show. I'm just like,
yeah,
okay, I guess we're doing this. She's in the group. Congratulations. There was like what was it, like 2 months ago?
The other thing, and the other thing that was really weird about the show, Randy, AJ, and LA Knight were nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, that was another thing that we talked about over there. I just after you went on that rant, I was like, also, they did that crap, and there was no LA. And I was like, where was LA Knight? And you're like, you went on the show. I was like, where was AJ Styles? Oh, he went on the show. Where was Randy Orton? He went on the show. Then what are we doing?
That was a mistake. That was a big mistake. Because like they're not going to just let their hatred of Roman just slide after what happened at Rumble. It's like, so hopefully they're going to get involved in somehow. Especially, I think Randy's definitely going to get involved in what's going on with Cody because they're buds. He's going to have Cody's back. He hates Roman, so that's like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Even though he wanted to take the title from Roman. He's not going to let his old friend Cody get fucked over.
No.
So
no. I wish Mia Yim would get more applause.
Me too.
I'm a big fan of hers. I think she's awesome in the ring. Shout
out to my good friend James Ives. He's been a big Mia Yim fan for a long time, and I feel for him. She should get used more, get pushed a little more because she's really good in the ring.
I mean, I remember all the way back in the Dollhouse days of TNA, if you remember that. I
knew her. It's like watching her NXT. I was like, okay, yeah, she's pretty awesome. So
it was the Mae Young Classic where I was like, oh, she's got something, and then they signed.
What happened at the end with Cody, Roman, and The Rock almost like made me hate the show, but there's still enough good on that show that it was a good episode of Raw, despite the big fumbles, especially with the ending, as we went over already.
We're just going to do Logan Paul and Kevin Owens again at WrestleMania.
I guess they're getting a rematch at the Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
I would assume.
Here's the thing. That's fine if you do a rematch at Elimination Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
You can't not have LA Knight in a match at WrestleMania. You can't not have Randy Orton in a match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You can't not have Kevin Owens involved with WrestleMania, even though you need LA. Yeah. LA Knight needs this WrestleMania for keeping his status.
He needs to win a title.
That's what I'm saying.
Put a belt on the man,
and so
he's still over.
So, but here's the problem: is I thought we were going to have Kevin Owens and Logan Paul. Logan Paul beats Kevin Owens, move on. But we had the false finish. Still the best match. It still was a great match. And I understand why they keep going with it because it was great and you kind of want to see it going. But the thing is that they have an Elimination Chamber match and Logan Paul finally beats Kevin Owens. And then you want to put in LA Knight in that. So they had a back and forth. Logan Paul finally beats Kevin Owens. And then LA Knight beats him basically a month later. It just doesn't add up as much as starting the feud now between LA and Logan and then ending it with Logan with LA winning it, whereas he beats Kevin Owens at Elimination Chamber and then he gives the belt to LA Knight. That seems a little not as big of a win for LA, even though it still will be a cool pop, but it doesn't feel as achieved in a storyline purpose. Whereas like Cody Rhodes, both times, especially now, give him the damn title for God's sake. He's got there. Even the Jey Uso Gunther, they started it when they need to start it. And so, it just that's where I'm having the issue with that. And I don't think AJ Styles is going to be on WrestleMania at all, even though he's just in the main event. I just don't think so.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. It's like, but I don't mind a rematch because the chemistry between Kevin Owens and Logan Paul has been awesome. So
yeah, but yeah, the Nick Aldis is just I either there's some injuries there, so that's why they signed him on, or maybe they're just doing it to show his. I mean, they obviously have him in a great role, and maybe because he's what 45, something like that. How old is Nick Aldis? He's like 45. He's like in his 40s, I thought.
Looking at it right now. He's
so
only 37, dude.
He's younger than LA Knight. Right? Because LA Knight was he's like 40 now. So Nick Aldis, is this their way to warm them up to Nick Aldis? Like, I know he doesn't have the mic skills and the charisma, but he damn sure has a presence on screen. He's very good right now in the role they've given him. And I remember him back. I mean, ever he was always one of the top guys and was a great worker. And he's just as good in the ring as LA Knight, just not as good on the mic and not as much charisma. So I guess I understand that, but just him and Adam Pearce are just keep doing whatever they're doing. And I'm loving how they're giving they're actually making Adam Pearce not some like lackey and pushover. And just not as much as Aldis, who he is who he is, and he's been that way the whole time. Whereas Adam Pearce, because he's known as a lackey, so he's sometimes just like, fine, whatever. Whereas Aldis is like, I ain't doing, you do whatever, or I tell you, because it's my world and how it goes. So, but that's all I've got for SmackDown. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. So let's move on to Monday Night Raw.
Yes. All right, everybody, here we go with this week's recap of Monday Night Raw. The show opened with Seth Rollins coming out, talking about, of course, the big news about The Rock and what happened on SmackDown. As soon as he brought up The Rock's catchphrase, boos came from the fans, and the camera showed lots of "We Want Cody" signs, hashtag "We Want Cody" in all over the arena. Seth then asks Cody to come out. Cody comes out. This time, Seth asks the crowd what they want to talk about. And then all of a sudden, a Rocky Shucks chant breaks out across the arena with Cole quipping that we haven't heard that since 1996. And then the crowd switches the chant to "We Want Cody." And a very emotional, obviously emotional, Cody acknowledges it. Seth goes to make his pitch again for facing him at WrestleMania, wanting an answer from Cody. But before Cody can answer, Drew McIntyre's music hits and he comes out. Drew says he thinks he speaks for everyone and says, "What the hell" to Cody. Everything's set perfectly. He took out CM Punk, so Drew can face Seth for the title at Mania, and he can face Roman. He even had a T-shirt made and reveals a great, hilarious T-shirt of him with Gravestone to follow up on his meme from last week. Drew implores Cody to go finish the story and challenge Roman for the title at Mania, even invoking his father. Seth tells Drew not to be a prick. It wasn't going to be them anyway because they've already danced twice, and he's beat McIntyre both times. Drew fires back that Cody's beat him 3 times. Things break down, and then it turns into a fight as he hits Seth with a Glasgow Kiss headbutt. Cody comes to try to help, so McIntyre backs off, with Cody not officially saying who he's going to be fighting at WrestleMania yet. So then we had the next 4-way number 1 contenders match for the Undisputed Tag Team titles. New Day against the Creed Brothers, against Imperium and DIY. Great stuff from all these teams. DIY ended up coming out with the victory after hitting Giovanni Vinci with Meet in the Middle. And they will move on to face Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne on SmackDown this week. And the winner of that will face Judgment Day for the tag team titles at Elimination Chamber. For earlier in the day, Adam Pearce announced that there would be qualifying matches since Bayley has chosen Io to face at WrestleMania. Rhea needs an opponent, so there will be a Raw Women's Elimination Chamber match, and the winner of the Chamber match will get Rhea for the title at WrestleMania. Assuming, of course, that she gets past Nia, but they're on that later. The first qualifying match was Shayna Baszler taking on Becky Lynch, with Becky picking up the victory to earn her spot in her first ever Elimination Chamber match, actually. Liv Morgan was interviewed by Kathy Kelly backstage. She's got a qualifying match to get into the chamber against Zoe Stark next week, and promises that she is coming at Rhea to get her revenge for injuring her and putting her on the shelf for a good portion of the year. We get footage of Shinsuke Nakamura attacking Cody Rhodes at a house show over the weekend, setting up their main event bull rope match for later in the show. Adam Pearce berates Drew in his office about attacking Seth because he's not medically cleared at this time. McIntyre points to Pearce that Rhea Ripley's coming out, and Pearce runs off to deal with that. Rhea gets on the mic and acknowledges Becky qualifying for Chamber, but that's not important. She wants Nia Jax in the ring right now so she can rip her head off. And Pearce comes out and says this is not the time for that. And he says that he will give Rhea what she wants. She'll face Nia Jax for the Women's World Championship at the Elimination Chamber in Perth, Australia. But Nia comes out. Her and Rhea get into a fight again, despite Pearce and the officials trying to stop them. She puts Rhea down and then hits her with the Annihilator, a.k.a. Bonsai Drop, once again. Then we have Akira Tozawa and Maxine Dupree of Alpha Academy taking on Ivar and Valhalla. It's a quickie match with the heels, Ivar and Valhalla picking up the victory. Judgment Day is in the back talking about what they did to Truth last week, and then Truth arrives showing that he still thinks that he's in Judgment Day and that last week was another initiation. Everyone's exasperated, and Damian Priest finally just tells Truth to just hang out in there, has a kind of like giving up for the time being. That's probably going to come back to haunt him later. JD McDonough took on The Miz, and ended up defeating JD McDonough, thanks, of course, to shenanigans from R-Truth. Then we get a recap of Asuka and Kairi Sane beating Katana Chance and Kaden Carter for the titles, and they talk about getting the rematch tonight. Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci are all over Adam Pearce to make sure everything is perfect for Gunther's 600 days as Intercontinental Champion celebration coming up, and assures them that it will be. And Braun Breaker comes in to talk to Adam Pearce about potentially coming to Raw. They show footage of CM Punk getting surgery for his torn triceps, and he says that his comeback in the next couple months will be the greatest of all time. Then we went to Gunther's celebration of 600 days as Intercontinental Champion, record-setting pace at this point, having shattered Honky Tonk's record. He comes out, and before they really can get the whole ceremony off, Jey Uso comes out to massive reaction. He goes back and forth with Gunther, making clear that he wants to challenge Gunther for the Intercontinental title. Gunther does praise him, but says that he only did 50% of the work, being one of the best tag teams all the time. He congratulated him finally stepping out of his family shadow, but he's going to wish for the good old days when people couldn't tell him and his brother apart. They get into a brawl. The numbers game catches up to him, but New Day comes out to make the save to help Jay out. The Kabuki Warriors defeated Katana Chance and Kaden Carter in a rematch to retain the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, with a lot of the women's tag teams in the back watching. A pre-taped interview with Jackie Robinson did with Sami Zayn aired when the arena was empty, talking about this last year and the ups and downs, and that Triple H said that Triple H took him aside after he lost to Roman at the Elimination Chamber, telling him to keep his chin up. And he's always the underdog, and he plans to keep fighting and find his way to getting some championship gold in 2024. And then we got to the main event, bull rope match between Cody Rhodes and Shinsuke Nakamura. Cody, of course, picked up the victory. But after the match, Drew McIntyre appeared out of nowhere and attacked Cody, hitting him with a Claymore. Drew stood tall over and knocked down Cody Rhodes, looking at the WrestleMania sign as Raw went off the air. So that's all that happened this week on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, sorry, Drew. You're just facing like the seventh time, so it is what it is. My first thing, and I want to ask you this: that 4-way tag match was awesome. Okay, I will say that. But saying this, the referee and the announcers and the wrestlers did not know who was legal.
Yeah, it was so chaotic. Yeah, they lost track.
Did you not notice that?
Yeah, even Johnny forgot because he went for the pin and Ciampa's like, no, I'm the legal man, Johnny. I gotta take the pin. I gotta do the pin.
And I think McAfee one time was just like, I don't even know it was legal. And then because like there was tag, and then spot. Like it. So I will say this for all you WWE truthers out there and all you travel people that always be like, oh, AEW, they just do tornado tags. There's no things. Watch that match. That's basically a TNA match. Were you not entertained? You probably loved it because it was a WWE umbrella. Guess what? That happens. This was amazing. But when you set rules, you got to abide by them, or I'm sorry, I'm going to call you out on it. No one knew halfway through the match because you went to your spots who was legal about 15 minutes into that thing until they finally, I think they got up there. And that's when Ciampa finally did the secret tag because someone was against the corner. And then she called the tag. That there wasn't a tag called for a good 10 minutes, I think, when they were doing all those spots. I mean, does that sound about right as far as the time? From the time frame, Justin? But when they were there?
I'm having a brain for at the moment. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. As far as when they kept tagging, right? And then they started doing the spots, and then it was chaos, right, with the spots.
Yeah.
And then they finally called a tag. In between the spots, I think there was 10 minutes of nothing, and then we saw the tag, and then, like you said, Gargano went for the tag, went for the cover, and Ciampa was thankfully smart enough to be like, no, I'm the legal guy. And it just kind of all worked out there. Thoughts on the show?
I thought Raw was really solid. I love the opening because once again, my boy Drew McIntyre fucking killing it. That the trolling is awesome. It's like him revealing the shirt with the Punk gravestone to go with what he did last week was fucking brilliant. I love that. He's siding with the fans even though it's for selfish reasons. Like, no, Cody, finish the story so I can have Seth at Mania. It's like,
did you see his
dude, I already beat you twice. He's like, and Cody's beating you 3 times in a row, pal. I was like, oh.
I liked it too when he was just like, well, you beat me a couple times, but that was because of other reasons, not because I'm bad. Like, he kept doing that.
Yeah, and don't count Drew McIntyre. Yeah, I mean, he attacked Cody, so that's not over with. Even though I was kind of hoping he'd show up in the press conference, but yeah, I understand why he died because it was more about what's going on there. But pardon me, it's late. He loved DIY winning the 4-way match because now we got DIY versus British Strong Style. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate on SmackDown this week. Yes, please.
I know. As soon as I saw the DIY Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, I was like, dude, Justin is that's my main event. That's my main event. Just give me those. This is
black. This is the redemption of the Black and Gold. Triple H saying, "Fuck you, Vince. You tried to kill Black and Gold. It's alive and well on the main roster now. Fuck you."
If you're not, if I don't know, if you don't like this match, then either they're all drunk off their ass, all 4
I'm kind of torn because I'm like, I want to. It's like, oh man, I don't want to see Pete and Tyler lose, but I want DIY to win the tag down. Damn it! Yeah. Damn it, Triple H!
Yeah,
we choose between my children.
Yeah. Liv Morgan.
That's gonna be a banger. That's gonna be a fucking banger match on SmackDown tomorrow night.
Yeah, and just what we confirmed. If it was any wrestler other than R-Truth, of him being like, oh no, it was another beatdown, that would have been lazy writing. But that makes so much sense for R-Truth's character.
And this is the next domino in the destruction of Damian Priest and Judgment Day, because Priest was like, okay, Truth, just stay here. It's like Truth is going to cost them the tag titles. I'm calling it right now. It's like that's the major next domino that needs to fall. It's like, and then Fowler and Vin Finn is going to be like, it's like we kept trying to get rid of him, and it's like, yes, we were exasperated, but you let him stay here, and it's like we can't get rid of him, and look what he did.
Here's what here's my left field, which could happen.
Yeah,
Awesome Truth does beat them for the tag titles. Not at I don't know, maybe WrestleMania, probably. Who knows? It shouldn't. It shouldn't. That's why I said it's left field. It should not. But here's my left field. Awesome Truth for some reason beats Judgment Day and Damian Priest and Finn Balor for the tag titles. The next Monday, the Monday night after Raw, they're all sitting there like, damn it, we lost. R-Truth shows up with the tag titles and be like, I did it, guys. I did it. That's such an R-Truth thing. Now, granted, that would be hilarious, but it buries again what Vince always used to do, was just pair two random dudes up and be a tag team for a hot second rather than highlight your tag division. So that's why I said this is my left field, not what you should do, what they might do, but here's what you should do is build up your tag division and give the titles to the actual natural tag teams.
I don't want that. It's nothing against R-Truth and the Miz, but no. If they really wanted Miz and R-Truth, they would have put him in there. That's what I was worried about. But they were like not involved in the 4-way match. So, no, I would rather it be R-Truth cost on the tag titles, give it to DIY.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We don't know what's going to happen.
No. If Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne win, then they're not giving up the titles yet.
No, I believe more DIY, because DIY has been tagging for a lot longer and been pushed a little bit harder. Tyler and Pete had just started teaming together. So it's like, like if they get the title shot, no, Judgment Day's not losing. If DIY wins his title shot, it's like there's a chance DIY can take the titles at Elimination Chamber for them. So we'll see.
Yep.
Way,
Kairi Sane's elbow drop still is the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen.
The insane elbow drop is a thing of beauty, dude. Yeah. That's why I'm so happy she's back.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Kaden and Katana being like transitional champs, but the Kabuki Warriors being the champs for a while brings some stability to the tag division. If Triple H is really serious about rebuilding it, and they showed a lot of teams watching, so we'll see if this works.
They unfortunately, I love her, but Maxine Dupree doesn't need to be in the ring right now.
I was about to say, dude, that I'm glad that match was so short, because Maxine, that match was like not good while it lasted. It's like Maxine needs to go down to NXT. She needs to spend some time at NXT and get seasoned, because like she's still super green in the ring, and she's like making botches here and there. It's like it's not good.
Yeah.
It's like either have her not wrestle again and just have her keep training, or send her down to NXT to get the hardcore training in, because it's like don't have her wrestle so much. It's very obvious that she's got a lot to learn.
Yeah,
it's not pretty.
This crowd loves your boy Jey Uso. I mean, they were doing this as soon as he walked out.
It's like, if you need a reminder of how over, it's amazing how many over babyfaces they got right now. I mean, Cody's like number one.
He's nuclear. He's at that nuclear stage.
Yeah, and Punk is like right behind Cody at like 1A, just because of who he is. But man, it's like LA Knight's rising up there, and Jey Uso's rising up there.
Randy, LA Knight, and Jay are in that level.
Yeah. It's like seeing everybody just waving along. It's just like, it shows you it's like how over he is.
Yeah, he's
fine. And I gotta say,
go ahead.
Jay Jay handled himself pretty well going up verbally against Gunther. Gunther did some great verbal evisceration, and Jay stood his ground. So it's like he acquitted himself very well there.
And I like Jay finally just letting the cat out of the bag. They're like, we finally here, huh? Like you knew this was coming. I like how he just was like, yeah, this is where we were going. You knew this is where we're going. We're finally here. Let's do this, type of thing. And of course, Jay
like
has
the fans will want to see Jay dethrone Gunther and his historic reign. Either that's going to happen, or Jimmy's going to fuck him.
Right. And so it's one way or the other. So if it's at Elimination Chamber, which okay, if it's at Elimination Chamber, then yeah, Jimmy's going to screw him. Then they're going to do WrestleMania, but no one cares about that match. They'd rather care about Jey Uso.
I think it would be more impactful if Gunther drops the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania than at Elimination Chamber.
So they should unfortunately, as much as I would like Jay and Jimmy, and I know how much those two want to be at WrestleMania match. It's not Jay's bigger than Jimmy, and that's nothing to do with how good Jimmy is right now as a character work. It has everything to do with you kind of fuck Jimmy, while Jay has gradually gotten to this level. And if Jimmy beats Jay, I don't know. It doesn't pop like you think it should. For that, so. Anything else that stuck out to you? I mean, obviously the Rhea stuff was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Nia just looks like it's like, and Becky said it tonight. It's like, I'll see you at WrestleMania if you can get past Nia, because because Nia's looking like a monster right now. It's like she's giving Rhea a hard time. So this is going to be a real good challenge to overcome for Rhea to beat her at Elimination Chamber, because as we said earlier at the press conference, it's like Becky came out, got her and Rhea got face to face, fans loved it, so it's like that's Mania, that's WrestleMania money going cha-ching. That's a money match, and it's like we've been wanting it for a while, so it's gonna be very to see how it's like she's gonna be able to beat Rhea. Her and Becky are both going to be overcoming severe obstacles, because like Becky's got to beat 5 other women in an Elimination Chamber match, and Rhea's got to go through Nia. So it's like, so they're both going to be overcoming some serious odds to build to them facing off at Mania, which is awesome.
Yeah. Anything else? And I know as great of a show as Dynamite was, unfortunately, with our show, because we ran so long with the press conference and then also doing a pay-per-view and stuff. So I'm sorry to our fans.
That's it for Raw.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like with AEW, with where we are in the show, we're going to do we're going to do the recap. We're going to do as much as we can, but we kind of also need to, unfortunately, wrap things up. So it has nothing to do with AEW. You did a great show. There's just a lot of wrestling stuff that just happened this week for us.
Yeah.
So my apologies for anybody that if we didn't touch on, because this is a really good show that they put on.
Yeah. All right, here's a recap of what happened this week on AEW. We'll start with Collision, because Collision actually was a really damn good show this week. I'll try to keep it quick and dirty here. Eddie Kingston defeated the bounty hunter Brian Keith to keep his Continental Championship, and it was revealed afterwards by Tony Schiavone that Brian Keith had been signed to a contract and was all elite. Brian Danielson defeated Pacherio, hopefully I spelled that right, in this ongoing war between the Blackwood Combat Club and the Luchadors of CMML. He attacked Brian after the match was over, but Claudio came out to make the save. Hook defeated the Outrunners in a handicap match to continue to keep him looking strong, despite his recent loss to Samoa Joe for the AEW title. Tony Schiavone interviewed Mark Briscoe in the ring, and talking about helping out FTR and Daniel Garcia beat House of Black this week. Well, House of Black didn't appreciate that very much, because Malachi and them appeared on the screen and told Mark Briscoe that he was their next target and they were coming for him. Then we had Serena Deeb defeating Queen Aminata in a one-on-one match. Tony Schiavone interviewed Swerve ahead of his number one contender match against Hangman Adam Page on Dynamite. And Swerve made it clear to Prince Nana not to interfere. He wanted to beat Adam Page all by himself. Red Velvet defeated Vixen in a one-on-one match. And then the main event was FTR and Daniel Garcia taking on Team Christian, Christian Cage, Killswitch, and Nick Wayne. FTR and Daniel Garcia picked up the victory with Garcia taking out Nick, and had a stare down with Christian Cage afterwards, with commentary summing up that he's likely going to try to challenge Christian for a TNT title very soon. All right, so then we move over to the big show this week, AEW Dynamite, very loaded show. Started off with Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland in a number one contenders match. This was a great freaking match, all kinds of great drama, but neither one can get the other down, and the match ended in a time limit draw. Swerve on the mic said that he wanted more time with Hangman. Hayden tell him no to 5 more minutes. Tony Schiavone then got on the mic and said that Tony Khan informed him that because of the draw, it would be a triple threat at Revolution, as Samoa Joe will defend against both Hangman and Page and Swerve Strickland. Swerve was happy. Hangman was not. Samoa Joe was interviewed by Renee about what just happened. He's not happy about the result, but no matter what, he's walking out of Revolution still the AEW World Champion. Tony Storm defeated Red Velvet in a one-on-one match with Deonna Purrazzo on commentary. Tony showing off her wrestling skills in this match. Then we had six-man tag as Blackpool Combat Club. Danielson, Claudio, and Moxley took on the CMML Luchador team of Ichirio, Dorado, and Velado Jr. The Blackpool Combat Club picked up the victory. Post-match, more than Luchadors arrived to attack the Blackpool Combat Club, but Christopher Daniels, Mike Sadell, and 2.0 came to back the Blackpool Combat Club up to chase them off. The Undisputed Kingdom was shown attacking Chuck Taylor, the Best Friends, backstage, with Adam Cole going that in a mocking way tells Chuck to get well soon as they toss him down to the ground. And then we went to Tony Khan's big announcement that was teased last week. He said that the TD Garden kind of let the cat out of the bag that, yes, AEW will be coming for a special episode of Dynamite on March 13th in Boston called AEW Big Business. Tickets will go on sale on Saturday, and see hyped up that it's going to be the most important nights in AEW and one that everyone will remember. The business, the S in business, and also BOSSton had dollar signs, with BOSSton having $2 signs, making it clear without Tony having to say it that Mercedes Moné is on her way. Then we had Chris Jericho taking on Konosuke Takeshita of the Don Chaos family. Lots of shenanigans happened in this match, and eventually Takeshita picked up victory by making Jericho tap out to get a big win over the living legend. And then the main event, tag team title match with tornado tag rules, so no tags, as Ricky Starks and Big Bill defended the tag team titles against Darby Allin and Sting. Great main event, and Darby Allin and Sting picked up the victory. Great finish where Starks kind of hesitated for a second to spear Sting, and then eventually Sting picked up the victory with hitting a Scorpion Death Drop on Ricky Starks to give him and Darby the tag team titles. Sting's sons came over who were at ringside, jumped the barricade, and got in the ring to celebrate with their father and Darby in the ring. But the celebration didn't last long, because all of a sudden the Young Bucks in white suits and white baseball bats appeared out of nowhere to attack them. Fans booed the Young Bucks out of the building as they destroyed Darby and Sting. Darby was busted open and blood was all over their suits. And the Bucks then picked up tag team titles and just dropped them on top of Sting and Darby, standing tall to close out the show. So that's all that happened this week on AEW Dynamite. And
Thank you. So, like I said, just real quick, your overall thoughts, what stuck out to you, and
Honestly, both shows, both Collision and Dynamite were pretty darn good this week. Lots of good matches, good storyline advancement. Love what they're doing with Daniel Garcia. It's like this is what we want to see more of. Is like, he was struggling, he was hitting rock bottom, and then since he hit rock bottom during the Continental Classic tournament, Garcia has slowly been rising up. FTR have befriended him. He's still got Daddy Magic rooting for him, and it's like he's been winning matches, and it's like now he's looking to challenge Christian Cage for TNT title. So that's good stuff. It was a great main event. Not surprised that Hangman and Swerve went to time of draw. Everyone was feeling that it was going to be a triple threat, but the match itself was still fucking awesome, and the fans were bought into it. It's like I think I think they might be trying. They started a double turn, a la Stone Cold and Brett in this match, because Hangman was acting very heelish afterwards. It's like he didn't want to give Swerve overtime, so that because that meant that he wouldn't get the title shot. But then he flipped out when Tony told him TK decided it was going to be a triple threat. He was really pissed off. So we'll see where that goes. Let's see what else. Jericho did not look good against Takeshita. I'm glad Takeshita won, but
hey, but Sammy's back from maternity leave.
Yeah, at least Sammy's back. I think Jericho needs to take a break, man.
Yeah.
Tyler Stoney picked up a win. That's fine. At least that storyline is going somewhere. The feud between her and Deonna Purrazzo. Looking forward to that match at Revolution. 2 criticisms. Okay. Tony, it's obviously that you have a lot of respect for Lucha Libre and Mexican wrestling in general, but you turn them into jobbers.
Lucha House Party. Good job, Tony.
It's like, yeah, this is like Lucha House Party stuff. It's like they've lost every match so far against Blackpool Combat Club. What is wrong with Blackpool Combat Club doing it? It's like, look, I get it. Moxley, Danielson, Claudio, I love them. All 3 of them, they're awesome. Love all 3 of those guys. But if you want to buy that this feud is a feud, you got to have them win a match against the Blackpool Combat Club. Because so far, it's been very one-sided for Blackpool Combat Club. Mm-hmm. It's like it's making the Symbol guys look like jobbers.
Unfortunately, it's the same thing he was doing with his partnership with TNA. He did a partnership and then just had all of his guys win, and then just took over the show. And then, surprisingly, that partnership didn't last very long. Yeah, because you just basically booked your guys to win. It was like, I don't know, what Vince McMahon did with all the WCW people that came over.
Yeah, like guys from New Japan can get wins over AEW talent, but no, not the Luchas. It's like, what the hell? It's like, that's one of my big criticisms. I was just like, that's why this has potential, but it's not wowing me right now, because right now it's all been one-sided on Blackpool Combat Club. So something's got to change. Also, this is what I've been wanting them to do. Undisputed Kingdom needs to be attacking and beating the shit out of people backstage, NWO style. They did it to Chuck Taylor this week. They need to keep doing that. They need to exert their power and their numbers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, keep this up. This is what they need to do in order to get the heel heat that they need.
I love that. I love that just a little bit, and
Cole. I love Cole's smugness to Chuck. Like, get well soon, Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking awesome. It's like that's the heel Adam Cole I love.
Cole's the best, dude. There's just no doubt about it. And the fact that he's like such a kind dude, like outside of the ring, but he can make that switch to be just such a ruthless asshole.
Yeah, that's why
so good.
As far as Tony's big announcement, this one definitely kind of lived up to the hype. He didn't say Mercedes in my name, but he didn't have to, because all the evidence is there. It's in BOSSton. The dollar signs, especially BOSSton with 2 S's, dollar signs, boss as in the boss. It's boss time, aka Sasha Banks, aka Mercedes Moné. It's like he pretty much spelled out
one of the best women wrestlers of all time.
Tony pretty much spelled out that Mercedes is coming without even having to say her name. So it's like, and you see the shit-eating grin on his face?
I was trying to count how many blinks he did, so I didn't see the grin.
He was very happy. when he was doing this. So you can tell he's very excited that he got Mercedes.
Tony, don't do the awkward Claudio hug with
Please
Mercedes.
don't.
Please don't do that.
Please don't. So that's going to be a very anticipated show, for sure.
Yeah.
And that's happening after Revolution, because
Mhm.
Revolution's on the 3rd.
Right. So that's what Giff was kind of alluding to earlier. Is like, do we get Okada at Revolution and then Mercedes? Obviously.
Yeah, it's like, and when is Ospreay going to make his official debut?
I think Ospreay would be probably Revolution if Okada, because Okada's the time the stuff is died down.
Yeah, Ospreay teased being at Revolution when he announced that he had signed.
Yeah.
So
Okada is everything about Okada right now has kind of died down. Like no one really knows. People think he's leaning AEW just because of what we talked about. But WWE it's like a Braun Breaker situation. It's like they're all both places are offering pretty good offers.
And as far as the main event, no surprise, Darby and Sting won the tag titles. Felt that was coming because it adds spice to them versus the Young Bucks at Revolution. And the heel beat down by the Bucks was well executed. Yeah, because the heel heat was off the charts for them. They are now the most hated, some of the most hated men in AEW outside of Don Callis, for what they just did because they did it perfectly. They won the tag titles. They're celebrating. They got confetti. Sting's sons are in the ring. Everything's shut. And then, bam! It's like.
I will say this, though. Matt is so organically good at doing either face or heel. And Nick, sometimes it sounds like he seems like he's the same monotone that he does.
Did you see the promo, the video that they put up on social media that showing what the Bucks said after they did it?
Mm-hmm.
They acted like it was all Sting and Darby's fault. That it's like, why'd you make us have to do that?
Why did you make us do that? We didn't want to do that.
We didn't want to. We didn't want to have to do that to you.
We're EVPs. We're supposed to be looking over other things. Well, you made us do it.
And that was just fucking brilliant.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
This was a great This is one of the best episodes I'm in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Great build advancement toward Revolution. Very few nitpicky stuff. But also this feud between Jericho and the Don Callis families, and it's been dragging out for too long. It's like, come on, dude. It's like,
shout out to Powerhouse Hobbs for just no selling the chair shots. Take us back to that 1998 Kane sells.
But a good week for AEW for sure. And and if he's got Mercedes, if he's also got Okada, it's like we end with Ospreay coming in soon with his New Japan commitments almost over, so he can start his AEW contract. Things are definitely looking up for AEW with despite all the horrible injuries they do, especially with Omega and MJF out right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they are missed for sure. So
have you heard anything? Some people. We'll end it with this discussion. Okay. Speaking about MJF, we thought he was already signed. Then it comes out he's not signed, and his contract's coming up. Is that more of AEW just putting that out there, or is there actually some fire behind the smoke?
The way that they executed the angle and the way that Cole insisted that MJF is dead, he's never coming back. They wouldn't. It's like I don't think they would have done that if he's not really coming back.
Well, counter argument to that, Roman did that for Daniel Bryan. And he never came back. So, but I think you mentioned him because you're expecting him to come back.
Also, I think it's the wrong time for MJF to jump ship with what's going on right now.
It's not a good time. I think MJF is better. Obviously, AEW needs MJF.
I think the smart move for MJF would be to re-sign with AEW for like another 2-3 years at the most. Come back, finish the feud with Adam Cole, get his revenge. Have another run, and then because by that time, Cody will have had his run at the top. It'll be perfect time for MJF to come in and make the splash.
I don't know, man. Cody might be like a next 5-6 year run guy.
Who knows? It's hard to say. It's like, and also with Punk there too. It's like there's not a lot of room for MJF right now in WWE as much as maybe you'd like to go there. It's like it's tough.
Yeah. I don't know, but I mean
We'll
MJF is such a talent. If
We'll
there's
see.
anyone that can, if there's anyone that can cut their way, get their way to the top
I
really
think-
freaking quick, it's MJF.
I think they're really keeping this close to the vest because I think like if he does resign, they want him coming back to be a surprise when you least expect it.
Yeah, but if people thought that when MJF finally came back as the Devil and all that they negotiated and he was re-signed and now just doing the bidding of the what's
because they stopped talking about that a lot. It's like he talked about that. Yeah, my contract's coming up, but he didn't talk about a bidding war. So it's like
right.
That really kind of died down after a while. So
yeah, so it was like secretly known that he signed. Then someone came out, was like, "No, it's not." And I haven't.
We don't know.
SRS hadn't said anything.
No, I don't think they know for sure either. RSS would, SAP or other people would have said something.
Unfortunately, SRS is dealing with trolls that are telling him that Mercedes Moné is still going to show up at Raw, or still going to show up on WWE at some point, and then also having to figure out what is the hell is going on with the Cody Rock Roman situation, which we think we have our decision now, which is the decision they should have done beforehand. But what do you do with The Rock now? And
this is not over. The Rock is gonna pull some shenanigans because he's in heel mode right now.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. If you want to go online and see what the actual what The Rock said when they did the button, so there are some live in the arena of the recording of that. So as soon as we get done here, I'm going to go watch and see exactly what he said. I think I have an idea, but that's beside the point. But thank you all so much for joining us.
Mm-hmm.
We are here every Thursday, 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central, until Kingdom Come at this point. But it's always a pleasure that I get to sit down with my good friend Justin and talk the business that we love so much. And we can sit there and be so passionate and can't wait for the next week and all the news that breaks around it. Obviously, we want good news and cool little scuttlebutts of who's signing where and not the Cash Wheeler stuff. So Cash, please don't do that again. And if anyone out there that is watching the show, like, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button. But also, we have our own Discord. It is a Discord, but we have all the links down below. Ruckus EV, if you want to join the Patreon to actually be a part of our channel. We're very big about that's kind of one of our big things here is, hey, if you've got a show, you've got an idea, we are willing to let you do it and kind of learn the business as far as behind the scenes and production and stuff like that. And everyone has a good time. So that builds us having a great community, and then also us having a good time putting out great content as you see before you. So, but Justin, any other final thoughts?
No, just that we live in interesting times right now. It's like we got a lot of interesting stuff coming up here.
Man, remember like from like 2014 to 2020, it sucked.
2018, 2019. It's like things kind of started to turn around with.
Well, they had that start of AEW and like the BTE and stuff like that. That kind of like kind of re-engaged us, but it wasn't WWE.
With the rise of Becky and the debut of AEW. Yeah. That's when things really started. That was when things started to what we got right now, and it is just like it's fun times. Yeah, that'll be perfect, but it's fun times.
Nope, wrestling is never perfect, but nothing ever is.
Nope.
We will still watch it nonetheless and criticize the hell out of it if it's bad and love it when it's great. So on behalf of me and Justin, thank you all so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.